Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Wrestling RHAPup podcast. I'm your host, Mari Forth, and with me, as always, my co host, my tag team partner, the Cameron to my Naomi, Mr. Matt Scott. Matt, how's it going?
You serious, Mari? You're
Yeah,
really
I'm
gonna
serious.
do that to me? I'm the
Yeah,
Cameron.
yes,
Well, you know what?
Cameron is amazing
Funky's
now.
gonna roll. Oh,
Yeah,
Funky's gonna. Are you ready? Do your
yeah,
dance. Do your
girl,
funkadactyl dance. Uh,
girl,
mm,
bye.
mm.
Girl, bye. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh yes,
Mess.
Matt. It
Let's
has
go.
been a week.
It
Um,
has.
how have you
It's
been?
usually
Uh,
good. I've been good. I've been good. It's been a week. I'm just laughing because the last time we spoke was after Money in the Bank
yes.
on Sunday. So much has
Mm-hmm.
happened. Um,
Yes.
I I don't know how you're feeling about all of it, but we're going to get into that all today. But it's a
Yeah.
beautiful day in the neighborhood.
Yes. So last week we previewed the Money in the Bank podcast after pay-per-view. Sorry, the Money in the Bank pay-per-view. After the Money in the Bank pay-per-view, we dropped our Money in the Bank reaction podcast. You can find that on stereo if you follow us on stereo, and you
Ooh.
can find it in your podcast feed, your Wrestling Rehab Up podcast feed. But first off, I have to say, when you're right, you're right.
Mm.
You
And I
must be
am
glad.
all the time.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
not always, not always. I'm trying to excuse me. I'm trying to be the bigger person and say that
Yeah,
you're
but the thing
right.
is,
And
like, if I realize that if people only listen so far into the podcast, I want them to know that I'm always right and you
but
are sometimes right.
yeah, exactly. If they listen to the first 2 minutes of the podcast, they would think that, and if they go a little bit further, they would see the difference. Anyways, I'm trying to give you your
That's right.
kudos. I
Thank
I
you.
will not let your attitude stop me from telling you you were right.
I mean, I'm not happy that I was right.
Yeah, yeah. So,
Uh,
we'll get into it a little bit
yeah.
more, but you called the winner of the Money in the Bank from like 2 weeks ago. I'll give you that. And then you called her cash in as well.
It's the third
So,
eye. It's the third eye. Right
silly
here.
me wanting logical booking
Wait,
from
I should
WWE. I should have learned.
draw that eye on
Yeah,
my
there you
forehead.
go.
Yeah, I see it.
But you
I'm
did a
with
great
you.
job. Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
good for
Mari,
you.
thank you. But you know what? Like, honestly, as we know, and I feel like we say this all the time, WWE probably doesn't know truly what they want to do. They definitely don't know what they're going to do oftentimes in advance. The plans change so much.
hmm
So sometimes you're lucky. And I was lucky this time because you know how many times that I've been wrong. So it's cool. So if you
Oh,
listen
don't be
3 minutes
humble
in, now you know
now.
the truth. Now you know the truth 3 minutes in. But yeah.
Yeah.
Goodness.
Overall, if you want to listen to our full wrap or a recap of the Money in the Bank pay-per-view, go to the Money in the Bank reaction podcast. But basically, like I said, I thought it was an average show. Mostly it was hampered by technical difficulties for the Peacock app. The Peacock app was just completely horrendous during the pay-per-view. It
Mm-hmm.
took me out of a lot of moments. So, I had to factor that into what I graded the show just because if I can't see the show, I can't,
Yeah.
I can't give it a good grade. So, but
Yeah.
other than that, not too bad. Go check that out. Also, a little bit of wrestling news broke this week. Still waiting confirmation. So, what do you think about this, Matt? So, basically, CM Punk has signed on with AEW. From what I understand, that
What?
is like, yeah,
Confirmed?
that I think is confirmed, like confirmed. Now, the second thing is Daniel Bryan, aka Brian Danielson, which is his real name, yeah, Brian Danielson, is also going to AEW. Now that news is not confirmed. Well, as far as I saw, I tried to, a few wrestling dirt sheets have said he's signed the line and he's supposed to debut maybe it all out or something like that. I don't know. I think they're still working that out. And then since then, there's been rumors of like WWE removing him from 2K22. So if that's the case, then that would give credence to the Daniel Bryan rumors going to AEW. But either way, they're saying he's not slated to debut for maybe a few months or so. I don't know. That one I'm a little iffy on. That's gonna be the one that until I see him on an AEW like screen, I will not believe it. Just, yeah. What's your face?
Wow. In the words of the famous Matthew Kennedy Gould, as covered on RHAP Rewind, what is going on? Like, I don't understand. I literally haven't been keeping up with the news so closely to realize that CM Punk is allegedly confirmed, allegedly, not trying to get sued.
Yeah, let's say
and then
allegedly.
Daniel Bryan is also almost confirmed. But if they're there, like, that's huge for the wrestling world.
Yeah.
And my mind's kind of blown, but this is a really good era for wrestling. I mean, if we get them in AEW, that's pretty magical. And WWE is going to need to work to keep up, which, like, some of the best of WWE and a lot of what fans look back to was that Monday Night War period when WWE was putting their all out there, and then WCW was putting their all out there. And so maybe we'll actually get a lot of good stuff going forward if this all kind of unravels like it looks like it is.
And more rumors are that after the news of the CM Punk Daniel Bryan signings, that WWE reached back out to Braun Strowman to get
Nobody
him back
cares.
on side.
Yeah.
I didn't want to say it, but
I don't want to say more than 2 sentences about that.
No, that was pretty much the consensus on Twitter. They're like, oh yeah, come back Daniel Bryan and CM Punk with Braun Strowman. Right. Good. Great. So I don't know. The only thing is, as wrestling fans, it's just going to be more content, it's just going to be more things to absorb and stuff. So I'm excited. I want to see it. I'm definitely not surprised at the Punk news. Not at all. It'll be interesting to see how he works in that environment. If, some of the reports are true about like, they have no creative. So, it'll be interesting how he would thrive in that. But Daniel Bryan, just wow. If that happens, that is a big deal. That is a huge deal.
Here's why I think this will be great, seeing CM Punk and Daniel Bryan in an AEW environment. Whenever you take some, like, people who are that talented, whether it's the charisma that each of them have, the mic skills, the in-ring work, of course, and then just let it loose and let them do what they want and unleash those creative minds on wrestling. Like, it's beautiful. You get really beautiful things when you let people who, one, like, know the business really well, two, know their characters, know what they're doing, kind of run wild. It works. And actually, that just made me think of Hulk Hogan running wild. That does not work. But I trust CM Punk, Daniel Bryan to do well in that. So, I'm I'm excited for it, but I'm like cautiously optimistic because we've seen CM Punk rumors like for the last 8 years, basically, ever since he left, whenever that was.
Yeah.
Time.
And if it comes to it, I guess we'll talk about it. But, again, there's only so much room at the top. No matter what promotion you're at, there's only so much room at the top. So
yeah, then move over, get out of the way. We need them. Actually, you know what? I could see Daniel Bryan fitting in, not at the main event. And one thing we were talking about with Scott Yeager last week was just how there are multiple main event level people who are not necessarily main eventing. They just had, the match between, they had the Darby Allin match that finished the show last week. And so, you know what? I think that AEW could figure it out. But at some point, having too many top stars is probably a good problem to have.
Yeah, that's true. Well, before we get into introducing our guests, let's just tell the people where they can find us. If you're watching on YouTube, you can find us at the Wrestling RHAPup on YouTube, at on the Rob Has a Podcast YouTube channel. Please like, subscribe, comment on our YouTube. You can also send us any long form questions you have. Send your emails to wrestling@RHAPhasawebsite.com. And of course, you can follow us on Twitter at the Wrestling RHAPup at Wrestling RHAPup on Twitter. Use hashtag Wrestling RHAPup to join the conversation. You can also find me at Mari Talks Too Much. That's 2 like the number 2 on Stereo and Twitter. Again, if you follow us on Stereo, you'll have access to all of our Stereo pay-per-view live reactions, and you'll get notified every time we go live. Matt, where can people find you?
You could find me at Matt Scott GW, also on Stereo, where we just were with the Money in the Bank reactions, and also on Twitter, especially hit me up there, tweet me and Mari, DM us, and you could also find me and Mari in the Job Has a Squadcast secret Facebook group where there are a bunch of wrestling fans in the RHAP community. If you want to join, just slide into our DMs, let us know, and we will hook you up. But Mari, anything else to plug?
Yeah, just we also have a podcast feed. If you're not watching us on video, that's fine. I would suggest you do, because we're going to have some nice, good visuals to go along with this. But if you listen to us on podcast, you can find us anywhere you get your podcast. Look for Wrestling RHAPup podcast. Subscribe to our podcast feed, rate, review, and subscribe. So we have 2 great guests today. Matt, let's do the introductions.
You know what, Mari? I need your help with something. What are some great Texas pro wrestling tag teams? The Von Erichs come to mind. Yeah. Probably the Undertaker and Kane is from Parts Unknown, so probably a Texas team. Maybe
this is on the spot.
Tori Wilson probably lives in Texas. Yeah, you know what? Anyway, making their way to the podcast, please welcome the Texas Tornadoes, the mouth of the South, the co-host of the RHAP Rewinds, the man who needs no introduction, and his partner, Mr. 1000%, Brenda Lowe's biggest fan. He's got the keys to the castle and the podcast. Please welcome C-Dawg, Chappell, and Jacob Jones.
Hey.
I love that. I was cracking up.
We out here. We're happy to be here. What's
the
good?
Mouth of the South, the Texas Tornado.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, we Harlem Heat out here, okay? I'm booking TNT Ray. That's my brother.
Yeah, that's other.
That's the tag team for you right there.
Yeah,
Oh, let's go.
Oh my gosh.
It was
Five times.
That was good.
Yeah.
That was good.
Chappell, are you a 5-time guest now? I think that's a big deal. I know that RHAP, Rob and Akiva make a big deal of that. You might be in the 4-timer club at this point.
One more.
I think I'm 3, 1 and then 2 that people actually saw. Because I was on the hidden podcast, the first one that we did before anybody knew about this. Back when we were just trying to get this thing piloted and on the books, and I think I've done 2 since then. So yeah, I think I'm up to 3 now.
That's right. Our podcast off the books. But yeah, when we get to 5 with you, we'll get you like a hat or something like that.
A crown.
Yeah, he needs a crown. I feel like at that point he needs a belt or a crown or something like that.
Yeah, that's not in the budget. Sorry.
No, that's not in the budget.
No.
The Wrestler RHAPup belt.
Missed. We got Jacob Jones here for the first time.
My cherries popped. I'm excited.
That's what his finish is called. Cherry pop.
Write that down.
I didn't realize this was too hot to handle.
Oh my god, he popped his cherry.
That sounds very hot. But yeah, I'm excited to be on here with y'all, especially this crew that we have here is lit. First time. Let's not make it my last. Not
at all.
Chappell, I'm coming for your crown, baby.
Jacob, you're supposed to be my tag team partner. Pay attention.
Never mind. We can share it. We can break it in half.
Actually, speaking of which, we kind of have some. Mari and I have some heat with you because we just decided to go to brunch. We had a great first season, had a great time. We're just hanging out, and then you decided that you wanted to get together and show us up and post a picture on Twitter of the 2 of you together because you thought what? You thought that you could come for us, or
what's the problem?
So Chappell, explain this.
No,
right
it's good. What's good, Chappell?
Well, yeah, That's what I'm saying. What's the problem? Because me and my tag team partner was just out minding our business, and then we saw y'all trying to be like us. See,
Basically.
that's what I'm saying. Like we were the original tag team that was at brunch, and then I see y'all on the internet with y'all little picture or whatever. So that's it. Just depends on I guess what your perspective is on that. But we here now. The champs are here. It's all right.
You weren't at brunch. I don't even know what you were at. It was like
mind your business. Mind your business. You in my business? Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Yeah, pick a side in the comments. It says Team Wrestling RHAPup or Team Texas Tornado.
And pick the right side and make sure that you at Jacob J _ Jones
baby
at Chappell's show and tell them how much you don't want to see them back on the podcast.
Trust me, I got the heat today, so please do it. I got the heat. These fingers are going. Come at me.
Come at them.
Oh, I'm gonna get canceled.
Oh
damn.
my God.
Yes, you are. Sadly.
No, you're not.
Sadly.
No,
it's okay.
Chappell tried that. He came at me and he it wasn't how
he
missed.
Expected
it to go. Yeah.
Wow.
Don't come for the queen.
I remember I hopped in those comments on that one.
Wow. Y'all really gonna try to play me like this. Matt, congratulations on your correct opinions as usual. Mario, glad to see your Money in the Bank that you were wrong again. Wow.
Right,
who knew?
All right. So we're starting out spicy.
I think I have to switch. I think I have to move to Texas, Mari.
Come join the stable.
Come join the stable.
Yeah.
Come join
we're
the
good.
stable.
People.
I'm in.
Jacob, since it's your first time on the podcast, just tell us a little bit about your experience with wrestling. Okay,
so my experience as of late has not been very high. I used to be kind of into wrestling, like in my younger days, but I feel like high school, I kind of got out of it, and then college, it was like, nah, and then out of college, it was like, I just stopped watching completely. So I've been out of it for a very, very long time. But when I got asked to do this, I was kind of just very hyped. I can reach back into my bag and to see, I just love the leg movements. I love the, for people listening, I'm just making Slurpee sounds because it's so you know what I mean? So I had such a good time, watching all the clips that we got. And just looking at the moves. I even some of the people that I've seen, just on the different clips that we were talking about today, I was like, wait, who are you? And so I went to go to the Instagram to look them up. And I used to watch a show which I feel like I've heard y'all talk about to a little extent, Total Divas. It was on E, so I knew I think I only knew one of the ladies. And I was I was so hyped to see her, but I was like, where the rest of them at? I was like, where where Bella? Maybe she's pregnant.
Yeah,
I
the
heard
Bella
she got
twins.
a baby. Yeah, Bella twins, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Okay, and then Eva Marie, and so, but you don't like Eva Marie?
No,
she
no one does.
Yeah, she wasn't in our clips this week.
Wait, never mind.
She wasn't in the clips, but she is on TV right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
And even I saw Edge. I mean, of course, John Cena. Oh, you can't see me. You know what I mean? People, you know. I see, of course, I've known him from wrestling, but also you see all the memes about him. And so it's just I had a blast. And so I'm going to have a lot of questions today, just some gaps to be filled in, but I'm excited.
Jacob,
no problem.
let me clue you in on Eva Marie, what she's got going on these days.
What she got going on?
Her whole persona is that she don't like to do nothing. She don't like to work. And so she just kind of lets people, she does the minimum in the ring. She lets other people fight her fights. She comes in, she pins them, and then she goes on about her day.
So she just sits there and looks cute, and that's it.
That's her thing.
And as a side note, for the YouTube viewers, I just happen to have this Eva Marie queued up.
That's
we have
her.
Eva Marie, the bright pink hair. This is her. Great meme material. That's Eva Marie. Lovely. Great thing.
At that picture, she looks like she's
about
that life, but she's not.
No, she's trying to tag out. She's trying to tag out for that.
She's trying to get out the ring, Jacob. Help me. Help.
I'm disappointed.
Yeah,
I kind of like it. If you're gonna be that person, be that person. You know,
she knows who she is, which is nice. Yes, we stand in Eva Marie.
Sonia was on Total Divas, and she's an authority figure now.
Yes.
Yeah, Naomi is currently in the middle of a brand switch, so I think once allegedly, oh yep, you're right. We'll see her back on the TV, but she's normally always on, but she wasn't on this week, unfortunately. Yeah.
I loved it. I'm excited. And they had parts of the clips were at the Rolling Loud Festival. And so I like saw some like people, some music artists there, and so I was super hyped, and the crowd was huge. And I was like, whoa. And you know, I saw that long braid. I knew who she was. I was like, oh yeah, we came prepared today. So I'm excited to talk about it.
Yes, can't wait. Yeah, exactly. Cannot wait to talk about it.
I'm sad about the Eva Marie. Like, I'm not sad about it. I mean, like, if you're gonna do it. But I'm just imagining her just like, you know, sitting there, you know, and then when it's time, and then just like, you know, ding, 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 and it's like,
that's her.
Half the time she doesn't even get in the ring. She lets her partners do all the work. And as soon as they win, she grabs the mic and says, "The winner is Eva Marie," and then walks out.
She don't even fight, Jacob.
It's a great job. It's a great job.
I feel like if I was like her opponent, like if I was like their opponent, I would really go for her and just like pull her ass in the ring and just like start like popping her. You know what I mean? Like it's just like start popping her. So that's my go-to.
That's my go-to.
You're trying to start a feud. You're trying to start a feud with Eva Marie.
Jacob, you gotta follow up next time when you next time you watch the show. You're gonna see it. I promise. It's so funny.
We'll definitely send you some clips.
Please.
So this is already. I know this is gonna be a great episode. Let's hop into our highlights of the week. So each week we go over the different highlights from either Raw, NXT, or SmackDown. This week, of course, we're gonna start with Raw. All of the highlights can be found in our show notes or the descriptions. And if you're watching us on YouTube, we'll probably pull up some pictures as well. But we have to start off with, we're going to start off on Raw. We got to start off with John Cena, because at Money in the Bank, after Roman Reigns won his match, John Cena came out, taunted him, and then showed up on Raw, addressing the crowd, getting the crowd hype, and then talking about how Roman Reigns, just a cookie cutter, like, I'm back because Roman Reigns sucked, you know, type promo. And he's saying like he's issuing a challenge to Roman Reigns, but he also said he'll be there on SmackDown. So we'll talk about that when we get down to the SmackDown section. But just the Raw portion, guys, what did you think about Cena? Chappell, what did you think about John Cena's address to the crowd?
Man, I really wanted to care about John Cena being back, but man, it was hard. I was like, okay, I get that some of these wrestlers from back in my day are around still, but John Cena's whole thing is, I've just been sitting at home watching TV, watching Roman Reigns, reign, and now I'm sick of it. It's like, oh, okay, old man, go sit down somewhere. Let Roman do what he does. So, man, it's really hard for me to say this, but I'm definitely going to team Roman Reigns on this one. Welcome back, John Cena, but I don't care. You just been sitting your old ass at home hating, just dry hating on this man. Like, okay, fine. So yeah, I watched the promo. I didn't know that this was going to be his 17th championship, and that's like a record apparently. I don't know
the record.
Who holds the record currently?
Ric Flair. And Ric Flair are tied for 16.
Makes sense. Yeah. So I think that's more probably what the motivation is. It's less about, Roman Reigns is so horrible and I really need to beat him because he feels like he's hot shit. I really think this is, I just want to break the record and I need a reason. Mm-hmm. And so that's what I was viewing this as, but I didn't care. I was John Cena, go away.
Yeah, it's like this type of thing where with Cena, literally nothing's changed. Like he's still wearing the same shirt that he was wearing. And the thing is, like the thing that's so impressive is that probably around like 2003, 2004, 2005, he started dressing like this, and he's still wearing the same thing. Like he's the one person in this world who somehow his fashion just. I mean, I don't know.
Him and J. Cole are still dressed like it's 2004. Like they both wearing like the huge Jordan shorts and the wristband, the headband. Like stop.
Would you want him to come out in a suit or like a suit?
I mean, maybe, but look, he's perpetual. That guy, him and John Cena are dressed the same to this day.
Sign guy, the sign guy. Yeah, they haven't changed at all.
That's like we miss. That's a dope sign. That's a dope sign.
It is. We missed you. Cool. Yeah, WWE missed you. Yeah,
nobody is even aging here. It's beautiful.
No, they both look aged like milk, and it's except their clothes. I'm just saying, I like John Cena. I was a big John Cena fan, but when I saw him come back, I was like, John, you still got that? Like we've evolved, bro. You take the tall tee off, So I don't know. I remember when John Cena was black. Y'all remember?
That is the John Cena that I remember from back in the day. And so for me, since I haven't watched in a while, it was kind of like, oh, you know, he's still repping the old thing. But how long has he been out of the game?
Well, he's in and out. He's basically still, but he's kind of like, he's definitely not retired. So people always know he'll come back.
I was thinking he was retired, to be honest.
No, he's considered part-time. To be quite honest, sometimes he pops up to promote his movies. But honestly, his last kind of like long-term run was back in 2016 when he had like a really long feud, a really good feud with like AJ Styles. It was like 2016 going into 2017, if I remember correctly. Then he came back around, I think was that 2018. Him and Roman had a weird one-off feud in the middle of like Night of Champions. Yeah, nobody remembers it because it was so random. It was like after SummerSlam.
Yeah, it did have.
Yeah, like payback.
We talked about it though, I think. Yeah, we talked about this when we were talking about rumors a few weeks ago. This happened already.
It happened already, but because it was like awkwardly placed, like a lot of people forget about it because it was kind of like a passing the torch style match, which is, you know, John Cena laid down for Roman Reigns to help propel Roman Reigns. But so they're doing this again, and I think they're starting to draw. They will start to draw off of that. But I mean, yeah, I'm like looking at the clip right now, and I'm just like, it's the same, and we'll get into that on SmackDown. I think Roman correctly pointed that out,
and I love like Roman, his energy. I was living for it. I was living for every bit of it. And Cena, when he came out, like talking about like, oh, overhyped and he's an overexposed game. I was like, Humble, you're doing a little bit too much, because I think we can easily kind of say the same thing about you and what you still have been doing for the last, you know, decade or so. You know what I mean? So it's kind of the same kind of thing.
Get them together, Jacob. My tag team partner out here swinging. Okay,
we ready. Roman Reigns, John Cena. Come on.
Wait, I do have a question though.
Yeah.
What? Oh.
So this Riddle guy, he shows up and John Cena and him have this like, dude, where's my car moment? I said, okay, John Cena, which one is it? Are you like John Cena from 04? Or are you like this stoner bro? Like, I don't understand what's happening.
Yeah, it was just a rub. They were trying to rub some of that John Cena star power onto Riddle. Well, that's what it's called. It's called a rub. Yeah, it's called a rub. When you introduce a talent into like a picture with somebody who's already established, you're trying to give them a rub. Like you're trying to like, oh, like it's John Cena co-signing. This guy's cool because he just sat there and said bro a few times before.
I was very confused at that too. You know, it's not bro, it's bro.
Right. It's a very stoner bro. Yeah. So that's all that was, and then I think Riddle had a match after that, but I didn't.
Yeah, we don't care about that.
Yeah, we didn't care about that. Yeah. So that's all that was, and again, before we move on, just the funny thing is when John Cena and The Rock faced each other at WrestleMania 2 times in a row, their whole gimmick was John Cena saying that The Rock went Hollywood and, you know, he just left them behind. And then it's kind of funny that it flipped. Now John Cena went Hollywood and left them behind, and he's talking to The Rock's cousin about it. So it's just like, it's kind of funny. But I think it's a very smart program to get into for SummerSlam, especially like we said, if your competition is pulling more talent. So I see why he's back. I see why it's happening, and I don't mind. The kids are popping for it. The kids are living for it. There's actually this
the kids.
There's a video from Money in the Bank
always wrong
where Roman was beating up who did Roman fight? Whoever he was beating up at Money in the Bank.
Kofi?
We're past it. No, Roman. Roman, who?
Oh, Roman Edge.
Yeah, Edge. Yeah. So he's beating up Edge. He went to grab a chair by a barricade, and this woman.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah.
Like, we love you, Roman. And
she wanted the rub.
Three things happened at all these times. She was looking thirsty as all get out. I don't blame sis. 2,
it was sis.
I don't blame her. I'm just saying I don't blame her.
No, we call her sis because we're familiar.
No, I just don't blame her. She's shooting her shot.
Go sis, go.
her son was right there, dressed in full, like, I think John Cena stuff. He looks at her like, oh no, you didn't. She's like, what? People were like, we? Who is we? He was looking at his mom like, if you don't shut up.
I love that.
Finally, Roman looked at her like,
like, ma'am, calm down.
I'm trying to get my husband. I'm trying to get my husband.
Trying to
you
get
to a
chose.
stepdaddy.
I was dying. I was like, if this don't sum up the wrestling universe in like one little clip, but
I need to go back and find that clip.
yeah, I'll send it to
I
you,
saw
but
it on
was,
Twitter. It was hilarious.
It was very,
Okay.
very funny. The thirst was real. The reaction was real. That kid was pissed.
And rightfully so. No, you
Yeah.
know what? Honestly, no, that kid needs to learn. Like most of our guests thirst over Roman, so everyone's thirsting over Roman. Yeah,
So,
about to acknowledge him. We'll get to him
acknowledge
later. We'll acknowledge him later, but
He's the chief.
yeah.
So next we have Bobby Lashley, hot off a really, I mean, like at Money in the Bank, unfortunately he threw Kofi Kingston around like a little rag doll.
Yeah.
But him and MVP, they came out, they said we are now like, we are serious, no more ladies, bye to the ladies, bye ladies.
That's so sad.
No more champagne popping, it's real. And then Bobby Lashley issued an open challenge and Keith Lee came out. I am so excited for Keith Lee to be back. He still got a really good crowd reaction. I'm so happy. Like, not only is all this melanin just all up in this ring, just amazing, but Keith Lee is one of the best like male wrestlers, period, heavy set wrestlers. For somebody at his size, he can do things that like the luchadors do, and it is just so amazing that he's back. He's been off TV for, oh my god, like
Since Elimination Chamber, so like 5 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we don't know why. There's a lot of talk and speculation. We don't know why he's been off TV, but he's back. He got a good reaction. That was a great match with Lashley, and I just can't wait to see what happens next. Jacob, what did you think when you saw Keith Lee and Bobby Lashley not really knowing who these people were?
Yeah, so first off, Keith got like a amazing crowd reaction. So my expectations for him was super high once he got in there. I was like, oh, he about to beat this dude down in my mind. But Bobby is like a super. But that picture that I just showed, it kind of reminded me of Matt Chappelle and myself. You know, it kind of reminded me of that. It kind of reminded me of that photo did.
No.
Okay, so who are you in the photo, Jacob?
Yeah, which one is who?
I think I have to be. Well, no, I actually want to be the pimp. Who I thought this dude was a pimp.
Yes,
I was honestly wondering about like, wait, why is there a pimp on the side?
Why is the Godfather back?
The dude in the suit. I'm the guy in the suit.
That's MVP.
MVP. I'm MVP. Yeah, and he has a cane too. I was
manager.
Okay, I was wondering. I was like, who is this guy? And then I saw him in another fight, like holding Bobby back. And I'm like, yo, he is like, so he got Bobby like that. Okay, he's his manager. Perfect. But I'm the guy in the suit. I'm MVP. Who are y'all?
Well, that obviously makes me Bobby, because if you're my manager, we are a team.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're Keith.
I like it.
I kind of get those vibes too. Like
Keith
Lee gives me Andrew on The Bachelor. He like also kind of looks like him too, but I identify with Andrew on The Bachelor. I also identify with Keith Lee. So that's sad. Why do I have to lose?
Keith Lee's his character is very like it's kind of, this is gonna sound really horrible, but his whole character is he articulates, like he's very
we're just gonna zoom in on you as you say something horrible. Yeah,
he says the whole word like this.
No, that's his thing. He just like his catchphrase is "bask in my glory." Whenever he does a promo, it is like it's like he draws it out. He says big words. He is like he's so intellectual, and it's just such a great character for him. It's like it's hard to explain. It's unfortunate he didn't get a promo for this open challenge.
Keith Lee,
but I'm pretty sure we'll see it throughout the next one.
I have to shout it out, Mari. He's the Latanya Starks of the WWE.
I hear it. Yes, we love a smooth orator. Yeah, we love it too.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, I wish we had saw that too, because this was my introduction to Keith Lee. I didn't. I wasn't around when he was around, so I didn't I was like, oh, who's this guy? You know, I'm a big fan of Bobby Lashley because he terrifies me. I've said it on this podcast before. I am afraid of that man. And he. It's crazy because I was like, oh, is Bobby going to lose this match? Because for a split second, I thought Keith had him. Bobby was struggling to pick him up. I really thought, oh my gosh, what am I watching here? But then I had to remember that Bobby is basically Goldberg. And, well, I called it. Goldberg was right. Goldberg got the cue because here he came. And it was wild because I was thinking that the whole time. I was like, does he not give y'all Goldberg vibes? He does like a spear. He's muscles on muscles on muscles. And then, we got the old man himself.
Yeah.
I mean, Chappell, I do have written down that I did say that Goldberg looked like the white version of Bobby. So.
It's the same. They're like the Spider-Man. They're like the Spider-Man GIF, like pointing at each other. Like, you.
Honestly,
But let's just also say that Bobby Lashley is very talented in ring wise. That's why that match with Keith Lee was really good. I like Goldberg. I am a fan of Goldberg, but even at Goldberg's heyday, he could do about 3 moves. So
and that's all he needed to do. That's all he needed to do.
Yeah. That's the thing I remember about Goldberg the most is, you know, when he had his streak going, they would throw random grunts at him just for him to win. So it's like poor like the Hurricane would run out and then Goldberg would just spear him the moment he got in the ring, jackhammer him, and then that would be the end of the match. And like, oh, he won in 17 seconds. You know, like, well, stop making Hardcore Holly fight this man. And so when I was watching it, it just gave me those vibes when it felt like Keith Lee was just there to lose to Bobby Lashley. So I was like, I wonder if that's why they've made this parallel between them, because that's exactly what I was thinking in my head.
Yeah. I feel like Mari, you're the Goldberg in this dynamic. Like if I'm the Keith Lee, you're Goldberg showing up against and Jacob, he does kind of look like the way
clearly both bald, both muscly face.
Yeah.
Both
muscle
faces. And
especially if you pull an old Goldberg photo, they definitely it'd be just chocolate Goldberg and regular. Do you want your Goldberg and regular or chocolate?
Yeah, and then if you want a pale one, you just like drop in Brock Lesnar. You know, you got all 3 the evolutions of Brock Lesnar.
Translucent.
I mean, Goldberg gave me the very same like scary energy that Bobby did, especially when he yelled in his face saying, "I'm next." I was like, whoa, is this what we doing? Is this? And then Bobby's face, like,
yeah,
I'm foaming at the mouth, basically. I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah,
I should have known that Goldberg was on something when he came out and all those sparks was in his face at the very beginning. Oh, if this man can take sparks to the face, he can take anything. So,
man,
ready to go.
You know what? And he blew out. I like at the end of it. I don't know if you saw, but he like blew out. I don't know if Goldberg had a jewel or something, but he like blew out some of the sparks.
That was his thing. He doesn't do it as much anymore. But when definitely back in the WCW time, when he would stand there with the sparks, he's told the story, like he'll sit there, he'll like breathe it in so that when the sparks are done, he'll make it come out his mouth and his nose to look even more extra like intimidating, like a dragon.
You don't like that? I think that's amazing. He's dedicated to the craft.
That's not healthy.
Exactly. It's not healthy. That's why I don't think he does it as much anymore.
Yeah. It's not safe, but I did like to see it. It's not. I'm not mad at it.
Yeah.
We'll go with it.
So and that's where we're at, because after Bobby beats Keith, Goldberg comes out to confront him, and this was a return that's spoiled, because most wrestling returns are spoiled. We just talked about 2 wrestling returns that are probably going to be spoiled. So we got word, was it last week? Did we talk? I can't remember if we talked about last week, but Goldberg was coming on to be Bobby Lashley's. We did talk about it.
We talked about that, I think, even a few weeks ago when we
we did.
Maybe even when we were like on our return episode, we might have talked about it with the news, because they've been talking about this. It's no secret. Goldberg has a contract with WWE where he like is supposed to wrestle a couple times a year, maybe. So,
and unfortunately, every time he does, it's just for the title, and it's kind of annoying. I'm not gonna lie.
What did he do to deserve the title?
They always do that. He just comes out and says, "I'm the title," and then So it's going to be Goldberg versus Bobby Lashley at SummerSlam. But I think something we can talk about it here, because there wasn't much on SmackDown. So I don't know if Goldberg's going to beat Bobby Lashley at SummerSlam. I have no clue. All I do know
is that Goldberg is 55 and shouldn't be Bobby Lashley, who's like half his age.
Well, that too. The second thing that I do know is that Big E is currently Mr. Money in the Bank. So, just a quick recap: if you're the Money in the Bank holder, that means you can cash in your briefcase at any time to get a match. Now, one of our favorite sayings on this podcast comes from the New Day podcast. Big meaty men bumping meat. That came from Big E. Big E specifically says when he was growing up as a kid, he didn't care about the 30-minute classics. He just liked big meaty men bumping meat. And that Goldberg was his legit favorite wrestler when he was a kid. So we have Goldberg, we have Bobby Lashley in a title match. We have Big E as Mr. Money in the Bank. How do we not get some sort of yes, some meat pumping.
You shut your ass up, Jacob Jones. Don't you say shit.
So either I don't know because I hate when baby faces announce their contracts before cashing them in. So if Big E adds himself to the Bobby Lashley Goldberg match, that could be cool. Or if he just cashes in on the winner, or if he inserts himself mid-match, that could be really cool. If Goldberg does beat Bobby Lashley, should we then insert Big E to beat Goldberg? Yes. I mean, it could just be amazing, to be quite honest. I'm so excited for that prospect now.
Jacob, what are you counting over there?
You know how there's like for say like British Broadcasting Central, they call it like the
BBC, yes, or whatever.
Okay.
I was trying to form an acronym. So big. For some reason I thought you said big black meaty men.
BM.
Big meaty men. BM.
Meat.
Yeah.
Yes. Big meaty men bumping meat. Yes.
Meat.
I'm gonna put that in my Twitter bio. BM.
It's such a great clip too.
That's gonna be the name of our tag team.
BEM.
BMM. It's the name of our tag team. Meat to meat.
Oh my god! Now I'm on my fingers. Like,
no, it needs to be BMMSM. Big meaty men slapping meats.
Slapping
meat to meat.
Yeah.
Jones, shut your ass up.
Big meaty men slapping.
Let the people sit with it.
So meaty.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Oh yeah, that'll be your entrance.
Thank you.
So
I am not okay with this.
So meaty.
I'm not okay with this. Look, I'm okay with Big E cashing in on this only if it's to beat Goldberg, because like you said, he's only showing up to have title matches, so he does not deserve to have it for long if he does get it. And so I'm okay with that. But do I want Big E fighting Bobby Lashley? No, because I'm afraid of Bobby Lashley and I want Big E to live. And so if he could steal the title from Goldberg without having to go through Bobby Lashley, and then maybe Bobby can get it back later on, that's the best case scenario for me as a fan. And so y'all have to keep me posted on what's happening with that so I can watch it, because like I said, I like Big E, but I like Bobby Lashley and I'm afraid of Bobby Lashley, and I'm not afraid of Big E. And so there you go.
Yeah. And there is history now, because Bobby Lashley just made Kofi look crazy, and Kofi is Big E's like stablemate in the New Day. So there's so much things they can just draw on with that. So and that would be a way to move Big E over, give him the title, and move him over to Raw to reunite with the New Day. So either way, I'm more excited for the possibilities than really a Bobby Lashley Goldberg match, because most of Goldberg matches since he's been back are run under 5 minutes anyway. So they're not that long. Like Big E said, he doesn't need 30-minute classics.
Yeah,
look, there's a joke there.
Yeah, we're not gonna talk about it.
Yeah.
Into the thick of it. Yeah.
So we gotta move on to so Charlotte.
Wait, this is Mari's favorite match, has to be, right? Because I saw this clip and first of all was shocked. I said, wait a minute, Charlotte Flair won the title? I know Mari is so happy right now. Her favorite wrestler with the belt, standing in front of Rhea Ripley. Mari, tell me that you love this moment. I know you did.
I, of course, did not. Not because
Mari. Okay,
yes.
Mari,
Yes.
you need to
Tell him,
figure
Matt.
out how you feel about Charlotte Flair and about the
Oh, I know
situation.
I know exactly.
Sound like a
You love
fan.
her now? You love her?
You do.
No, I
you
do
sound
not.
like a fan.
Tell us how much you love Charlotte Flair.
I already
Start now.
did. The last 3 podcasts, I have talked about how good
Standing.
work Charlotte Flair has done. I've been saying it.
Okay, we're gonna clip
to
that
give people props.
and send her.
So, but through all of my complaints were, if you're gonna put her in this type of feud, the opponent needs to come out and win. If not, the opponent looks stupid as fuck. And that is exactly what happened. Like, this was such a great story to tell. This was a learning curve for Rhea. And instead of crowning your new champion, validating your new champion that you had just put the belt on, 2 months prior, something like that, at WrestleMania, 3 months prior, whatever, you put the title onto Charlotte Flair to continue to boost her numbers, only to then take away some titles from her numbers. We'll get to that later.
That was weird.
Very weird. But I just, again, we could be building stars here, but we're not.
Yeah. I have a question. Is Charlotte Ric Flair's daughter?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I kind of got like similar energy. And by this clip, I, for one, love Charlotte. I was like
the most Charlotte podcast.
Right.
Yeah, everyone on this podcast
one-liners. I was like, when she said like, "Oh, Rhea's at home like breastfeeding," I was like, "Oh my gosh!" When she was like, "I created the book," like it, like she was doing, I feel like such amazing like job. And even once we got to the end of that, and Charlotte gave me a perfect example of on-site, like means on-site in a way of, I don't care if you're ready, I just need to be ready. And the way that she flipped that heel off her. Crumbling. I was like, okay, I'm living for this. So I was definitely, and Rhea reminds me, do y'all remember that show Total Drama Island?
I do.
No.
Yes.
And I know exactly who you're talking about too.
Rhea, I don't know her name, but she reminds me of the girl that wore purple, just like had a very like hard exterior. And my mind went exactly to that point when I saw Rhea.
Not Gwen, was it? It was dang, what was her name? I can't remember either. I know you're talking about though. Yeah. It's the same. It's the same energy. It's the same
very much
energy.
the same energy.
But yeah, I agree with you for sure about Charlotte. Even that line that she said though, where like, I don't take a page out of anybody's book. I created the book. I was like, you come out here, you better flex then. I see you. I see you.
And it's good. And that's what I'm saying. Charlotte is a great heel. Like, she is an amazing heel. The problem is the way the storyline shook out, it does not help Rhea. Like, if somebody loses, it's okay to lose, but it's how you lose. And the way that they structured this feud for Rhea, knowing that Rhea is gonna lose, it just does not help Rhea. You don't want to use the word lightly, but it really does bury her. And I always point to this: Sasha Banks can have feuds with people, and people can lose to Sasha Banks and still be elevated, and vice versa, because not often do people lose to Sasha Banks. Sasha Banks normally puts people over. She will take a loss in a match. Look at Bianca. Bianca is now a mega star.
My queen.
Because Sasha took the pin. And it's just very annoying that Charlotte does not take pins lightly. She is the most overprotected star in the company right now. And yeah, it does good for her character, but it does nothing for all of the characters around her. Am I overdoing it, Matt?
Yeah, because I think the only thing is Rhea didn't deserve, like, I felt from the beginning of this little run over since March that she just shouldn't have been in that spot. Like, she would have benefited from having a crowd. She probably would have benefited from more of a build without winning the championship. I just think it shouldn't have happened from the beginning, because like at the end of the day, it's like hold on, like look at this. See, look, let's break down. Oh wait, I pulled up the wrong picture. Hold on. Pulled up the wrong. Wait a minute. But just like breaking it down, the whole I need to figure out this technology thing. But she just kind of blends in for me, and she looks like she should stand out. Like I think of Paige from a few years ago as being someone who had like a similar outside perspective aesthetic, right? And Paige stood out. Paige had some charisma that she was able to bring, had the in-ring skills. With Rhea, she's just still she's still adapting. I don't want to call her green, but she's still adapting to everything. And you see it.
Yeah.
And she has those random chains. What's up with the whips and the chains?
We like that.
I completely agree.
I mean, we're not against it. I just have questions.
For 2 seconds.
No whips and chains.
Thank you.
I think when we first saw that Rhea was gonna go against Asuka at WrestleMania, we both pointed this out. It was incredibly too early for Rhea to be in the title picture. She debuted and got into the title picture. Talk about pulling a Page right there.
Yeah, exactly. That's
so
literally what happened with Paige.
Yes, exactly. At that moment, I was like, I don't think she should be in this picture. But then she won it at WrestleMania, and then I agree. Rhea is very green in comparison to Charlotte. But once you put that title on somebody, you have to back them. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to put the machine behind them, or it's not going to work. And I feel bad. I do feel bad for Rhea because I like Rhea. I have been saying that I don't think she's ready for a very long time, but not in a way that it's demeaning or degrading to her. I just think that she needs a little bit more practice on some of some stuff. But the way you can get around that is if you try and convince everybody else that she's a star. And that's what I thought they were trying to do with Charlotte, but they didn't. And Rhea has openly spoken about how the last time she lost to Charlotte, it decimated her confidence. So how is she supposed to have confidence in this program? If I wonder how far in advance they knew she was losing, which could be that day, or it could be for however long they started it.
So here's my question, right? Well, just follow my thought process here because I'm trying to figure this out too. Yeah. So the first time I saw her was in the Royal Rumble. She had a good showing in the Royal Rumble. She didn't win. And then like she goes on and we know that she like goes with Asuka and all this other stuff happens and she ends up in this spot. But my question is she being used as a vehicle for the superhero? Because I mean, very quickly we see that she's almost out of the picture the moment this match happens. She doesn't have the belt. She has a knee injury, you know. And so did they pivot away from her? Were they going to go all in on Rhea at any point? And now they're like, okay, we got a superhero coming up now, almost a superhero now who's currently the champion, you know. So are we just kind of moving her out of the way to go in a different direction, or did they just fumble the bag right here when it comes to Rhea?
No, they'll come back. They'll come back to Rhea. This is like the one thing, and I'm kind of annoyed by it, honestly. But I think Mari will appreciate it. Like, I mean, Charlotte lost the match by DQ. Rhea won the match by DQ. So she could still have, and she probably will still have, a rematch for the championship. If I had to guess at SummerSlam, maybe we'll get like a triple threat match. Yeah, maybe we'll get that. But Rhea's not out of the picture. There's no way. But then again, WWE is super inconsistent about how they do these things. So they can do whatever they want, but they'll keep her in the picture.
Yeah, at this point, it's like so open-ended because, you know, they're still trying to rumors about them trying to get Becky back. They're trying to treat SummerSlam this year like WrestleMania. So I don't know if Nikki, almost a superhero, versus Charlotte and Rhea is gonna be that high caliber of a match. So I could definitely see, this is why the Raw women's division to me is the women's division that I'm the least interested in, because it seems very wide open and they book on the fly. But one of answers to your question, Chappell, is going back to before WrestleMania. I mean, before WrestleMania and to Royal Rumble. Rhea Ripley wasn't even supposed to be in the title picture. Charlotte was penciled to be the champion, because what was happening was Asuka was the champion at the time, but Charlotte was in a program against Lacey Evans. I think you came on a few times during that program.
Yeah.
Lacey Evans got pregnant unexpectedly. So Charlotte lost the dance partner because from what the signs were saying, Lacey was going to take the belt off of Asuka, and then at WrestleMania, Charlotte was going to take the belt off of Lacey. Lacey gets pregnant. They have to scramble to figure out what they're going to do. So they inserted Rhea like 2 weeks before WrestleMania. It was just so absurd. Absurdly close to WrestleMania. Asuka was still spinning her wheels. They insert Rhea into the WrestleMania feud. Charlotte was there was also some backstage stuff with Charlotte. So Charlotte was out of WrestleMania. And so we get Rhea and Asuka at WrestleMania. Rhea takes the belt off of Asuka because they wanted the belt off of Asuka, clearly. And
she wasn't defending it, so
exactly. And then we go into this feud with Charlotte and Rhea. So that should have told us everything right there. This was always a vehicle to get Charlotte back into the title feud. But it's just so unfortunate that it keeps coming at Rhea's expense. And again, I don't care that Rhea lost. That's not the problem here. It's how she lost, how they went about it. They really did make her look like a dummy. DQ or not, they made her look like a dummy. And I feel really bad for her.
Yeah. So is the next step to push the almost superhero woman up in front of Rhea, right? Because now she has the title. Like you said, the triple threat match could happen, but I mean, realistically, it probably won't. And so you probably have like Charlotte Flair now trying to get her belt back from Nikki, almost a superhero. Do you think that they could just call her a superhero? It would still be Ash. I just say it. What is the almost? She has the title. But do we see like now that she's stolen that, is she now inserted into this like dance partner role for Charlotte Flair? Because you gotta imagine that she's outmatched. Like Charlotte Flair is a better wrestler than her.
Matt has had the great read.
No.
What did you call? You didn't you call at the Money in the Bank pay-per-view?
He did. You did.
I don't.
But I think
so I did
like
say
a 2-week reign for her, right?
Yeah, this isn't gonna last long. But at the same time, that's kind of where I could see Rhea coming in and like being the spoiler to break things up. I mean, I could even see it going as far as, again, Charlotte and Rhea. This is like a bold prediction, but like Charlotte and Rhea teaming together so that they could get the championship back against Nikki. Maybe Becky Lynch, who's at home breastfeeding right now, allegedly, according to Rhea. According to Charlotte. I'm glad that Charlotte knows that. And shared that. Good to know.
Yeah,
but awesome. Good stuff. But I think the other thing is like I just see shenanigans coming in for her to keep the championship. She's not going to keep that clean because she is definitely outmatched.
Yeah.
I was very frustrated when I did see Nikki. I mean, just the costume and the gimmicks. I was like, oh my goodness, who was this? Yes. And I guess because I like rode after the Rhea and the Charlotte interaction, I rode so hard for Charlotte. And then just like, I mean, she did this, dirty stuff. It got, DQ'd, and she came back into the ring, held the belt up. And then this person just comes. I was very frustrated because in that fight. I mean, I thought Charlotte fought dirty, which I loved. I thought she used her foot in like no other, and I was all here for every move that she did. And so when I see the superhero, and she's probably already tired, so I see the superhero running in, and then just like it's a more easy fight. I was very like, damn it, man.
Yeah, and so somebody, a lot of people were saying that is the quickest a ref has accepted a Money in the Bank briefcase ever. We constantly talk. We constantly talk about how it takes them like 20 years to be like, "Are you sure? You got it? Really? You want it right now?"
Like, get your ass in this ring and hit it with that crossbody so we can go. We got a commercial break to get to.
The ref had beef with Charlotte.
And a fun fact: there's been four women's Money in the Bank winners, and all three times there's only one time that the Money in the Bank was not cashed in. It was last year. Becky was the champion. Asuka won the title at Money in the Bank because Becky had to leave for maternity leave. All other 3 times were cashed in on Charlotte Flair. Yeah. So yeah, Carmella cashed in on Charlotte the night after WrestleMania. Alexa cashed in on the Charlotte Nia Jax match, if I remember correctly, and then Bayley cashed in on Charlotte what was that?
Ronda,
2 years ago.
And then that was the Ronda Rousey Nia Jax match. Because
Was
I
it
think
Ronda
part of
Rousey?
that too, because I think part of it was like protecting Ronda so
Oh,
she's
yeah, it
not taking the
was.
pin. But
Okay.
Right. Oh, yeah, you're right.
Shenanigans.
So, okay, two
Shenanigans.
times.
Lots of
We
shenanigans.
love that.
Yeah.
Okay. But and then this time, so it was like 5. So that's 5. There's been 5 winners.
It's a lot. Yeah.
So Nikki, Charlotte,
Mario in the
Bayley,
weeds right
Charlotte,
now.
Carmella, and Charlotte. So it was 3 times. So no, I was right. It was 3 times, but
Mari, get your little red, get your red string and your thumbtacks and your board.
You see like that Lincoln GIF where she's like, okay,
yeah. There's been 5 women's Money in the Bank winners. 3 of them has cashed in on Charlotte.
Damn.
Yeah. That's protection to me. Oh. All right, so we got to get off this.
Yeah, we have to keep going.
Wow. So this was fun. Chappell, your man Reggie.
Reggie, my guy.
We had Natalya and Tamina versus Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler. Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler lost. At the end of it, Nia and Shayna Shayna was yelling. She was like, "We have been losing ever since you added Reggie." Nia Jax looking stunning with her hair, by the way. Looked like she was about to take Reggie's side, and then all of a sudden she hits Reggie. Reggie goes down.
She headbutted him.
Yes, headbutted him.
Ooh.
Oh my god, that was amazing.
Vicious,
and they left Reggie. I'm surprised. I have a million feelings right now because I love me some Reggie. I love Reggie and Nia. I really thought we were gonna get Nia and Reggie versus Shayna. Like I thought we were gonna get like a Mega Powers Implode type deal, but I kind of like that they turned on him and they just dropped him like a bad habit, and you couldn't even feel sorry for him for too long because 2 seconds later he became the 24/7 champion. So this is great. Chappell, what do you think? I know this is your dude.
You know I like Reggie, man. Ever since I was like, is that the sommelier again? Is Reggie back? Because so Jacob, I don't know if you know this, but Reggie used to be ringside, just passing out wine basically. and then like sometimes he would end up in the ring and he could do all these amazing flips and he's wild. And so I went back in my early days of coming on the Wrestler RHAPup. I was like, man, why does everybody have a black henchman? And why is this one so acrobatic? Well, he seemed to switch switch teams now. He was with Carmella, I think, at first.
Yeah.
Now he's with Shayna Baszler and Nia, they fired him in the middle of the ring. So I'm like, oh crap, Reggie, what are you gonna do? Are you going back to serving wine? And boom, the 24/7 match pops off and bam, he took it. He did a couple of those little flips in there too, so I was happy.
Ninja. Yeah.
This ass plant thing he's about to do.
He
really
sat
cool.
right on
I've
Akira
never seen
Tozawa's
that.
face and just got the win, and he got the championship, and he got out.
It was dope to see too, just after the turn of events that happened, where he did get headbutted and then kind of get dropped, and then to see him already be down in the dumps with the turn that on like that. I was like, I literally was like, oh, he's a ninja. At this point, like swinging, like doing all these type of movements. I was definitely impressed by him. And as you say, he was over there handing out wine and beers. And now he's getting into the ring doing all this. I was definitely impressed by him.
Jacob, this man won that title in Chelsea boots. He was dressed for brunch.
Wait, I didn't even check on the Chelsea boots.
Go back, man. Go back to the last picture. Look at this man's shoes. Yes.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
That man left Zara and walked into the ring, okay?
And Taylor pans. Yeah.
Go Reggie, man. I'm happy to see it because I'm tired of him being a black henchman. Let him get some matches of his own. Let him get some fight. But this is the 24/7 title, right? So they could just jump him anywhere and get it back.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you see him keeping this for a long time, or is this something that's Reggie's got like a day or two before the next person got it?
We should check social media before he got on here.
Oh my god, he might not even have it now. Oh my god, Reggie, no.
Is the 24 hour? Is the 24 hour? They have 24 hours to get it back, or how does that work?
No, so it's called the 24/7 championship, and it's kind of like the old hardcore championship where it can just be defended anywhere, anytime. Yeah. So when it first debuted, 4 years ago, R-Truth had it, and it was really fun because it would be R-Truth like on Twitter, and he was like, "Oh, I'm golfing today," and he'd be golfing, and then all of a sudden people would run up and try and get his championship, and it was really kind of fun that first like few months or so, but ever since then it's kind of just been like it'll happen like that. You'll run in the middle of the match, and then or somewhere in backstage. So the word on the street is Vince McMahon really likes Reggie, so if Reggie has the title now, maybe we can get a more return to like some of those exclusive clips where he's doing something else and then he defends his championship. That would be really cool, especially since he can like do all those flips to dodge. I just don't want to see him flip away. Like he just flips away. Like,
Mari, picture this. Reggie's at brunch, like at like True Kitchen or something, and somebody comes in, he's like waiting on his like ex-Benedict or something, and they try to tackle him, and he just like throws a mimosa in their face. Like it just takes off flipping. Man, we got some action here with Reggie. I'm just saying. Yeah.
Do you think that Nia and then will get him back as the quote unquote henchman, or you think they're done?
No,
I feel like unless he tries to beg them to come back.
That was a vicious headbutt, though.
That was a vicious headbutt.
You don't just headbutt people and come back together.
Yeah, he got fired. I don't know if that's the consensus, but in my mind, the moment she headbutted him, I was like, well, what are you going to do now, Reg? And so I'm happy that he was able to bounce back so quickly, but I hope he doesn't go back to being their henchman. You know, they headbutted him.
Well, I was really hoping we were going to, because they always said that him and Nia were like in a situationship. So I was kind of hoping we were going to get that situationship spinoff, because the vignettes of her shopping for him and doing all that was so funny like a few months ago when they were really like doing that when they were still champions. So I would have loved that, but we'll see. I still think that Nia and Shayna have to break up because we need some more singles competitors for this women's division. But then again, the tag division is also just thin as all get out. So I don't know. But all I know is I love this. Reggie is hilarious. I'm so happy for him. I can't wait to see what happens. I think what could happen is maybe Nia and Shayna are having a match, and Reggie tries to come out to try and beg them to get back with him, and then the 24/7 guys come out to chase him, and then again they end up losing their match again, and they get mad at him again. So move on, Reggie. Move on. You don't need better than that. Yeah. Or maybe he's the 24/7 champion, so maybe the ladies, maybe Lashley's ladies will follow him now, and he doesn't have to follow the ladies. We'll see. But I really like the fact. Yeah, well, I really like the fact that Vince is really high on him, so that's always good. So this final clip from Raw, I think this was just a good lead into our NXT stuff. We got Karrion Kross, who is the current NXT champion, make his official Raw debut. He's been doing some main event stuff, and it's against Jeff Hardy. And so, I was like, okay, Karrion Kross, Jeff Hardy. It's Karrion Kross's debut-ish thing, and we haven't seen Jeff Hardy for a few weeks. So I really just thought Karrion Kross was going to get the win on Jeff Hardy, to bolster his debut. But Jeff cheated, right?
Whoa!
And Karrion Kross
was it a cheat?
It was a cheat.
Not a cheat? Okay.
Jeff Hardy put his legs up on the rope
on the rope. It happened fast. I wasn't sure. Listen, let me tell you something. I will plant my flag. Black people love Jeff Hardy.
Yes,
that's I am. Is he a part of the Hardy Boys?
Yeah.
Okay. Him and his brother,
he's the favorite.
Right?
Him and Matt.
Yeah, Matt.
Okay.
Yeah, black people love Jeff Hardy. I am black people. When I saw this Karrion Kross person was fighting Jeff Hardy, I was like, well, that's unfortunate for Karrion Kross because Jeff Hardy's about to win this match. And that's why when y'all were like, he cheated, I didn't see that. I don't know what you're talking about. Jeff Hardy has never cheated a day in his life. What are you talking about? This is our guy.
What do black people love about Jeff Hardy?
I don't know. I think back in the day when wrestling was like new and shiny for a lot of us, it was like, oh my God, he's doing all the things that nobody else is doing. He's diving off the ladder. He's jumping through all the tape. Like he's doing the crazy stuff that, our black asses ain't finna do. But, or at least we can't get caught doing because our mama's going to get us. And so, because I was Mr. Swanton Bomb, okay? Like look, me and my cousins get to wrestling. I'm jumping off the couch, flipping on the bed. He was doing the fun stuff about wrestling. He can't come to the cookout, but we definitely going to bring him a plate afterwards. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody can't get in, but I'm gonna save Jeff Hardy a plate. So I was happy to see him here, and I would have been devastated had he lost this match. So I was very happy that he won.
Jeff Hardy gets a plate.
Yeah, he can't come.
Is it? I just don't even. Honestly, one of my problems with Jeff Hardy, and I was like into this as a kid, but like just that mesh shirt. Like, what's the nipple? I mean,
Matt, you can pull that shirt off, Matt.
I could pull that shirt off, but I don't know if Jeff can still pull that shirt up. Yeah, I get that.
Oh my gosh!
I think with the face and with the long hair, I think he needs some rip in his jeans. But I think the mesh shirt kind of goes.
Yeah,
it's a look.
Good note.
So how old do we think Jeff Hardy is now? Because I gave Cena a lot of crap for being old and coming back, but Jeff Hardy was wrestling way before John Cena. Him and Goldberg are peers. Like
I would say Jeff Hardy's like 44 if I had to guess.
I think I think it's something like that.
I'm just worried about him. I hope he's been, because it doesn't look like he's in great shape, but I'm hoping he's been in conditioning.
Shade. Oh,
43.
Wow.
Good
he
job.
He turns 44 in August. Look at that.
It's not shade, man. I'm just saying that, he didn't fill out the mesh like he used to, but also his antics take a lot of stamina and a lot of preparation. Like you can't just be flying around like that at 43, 44 years old. Like you got to start preparing for retirement. Maybe become like a grappler. You don't have to be a high flyer your whole life, maybe change it up, because I don't think you can fall off too many more ladders at 43 years old.
I'm telling you. Yeah,
I can't get up the stairs, and I'm not even 40 yet.
So, Jacob, I have a question for you specifically, because I want, just looking at this clip, what did you think of Karrion Kross?
I personally liked Cross in this clip because he was getting the better of Hardy at the beginning of the match, and so I was really liking that. And so I was thinking it was going to go the other way, but I did remember Hardy from the Hardy Boys and whatnot, and him and his brother. And so I was kind of like, "Yo, Cross, I'm kind of digging you." And then his last comments about saying when he did lose, he was like, "Oh, this is the worst thing that he will ever do in his entire life," and then he said something about at the end everyone will fall and pray, and I was like, "Oh crap, hold on." Right. And so, but I like that type of sinister energy. And in later clips, I found out how petty he really is. Right. So I was honestly, I thought he was a good fighter. I thought, he held up what he could at the beginning. And I didn't think he did horrible. And so I was kind of here for the Cross matchup. I did like Hardy a little bit more, but just because of all the acrobatics things and the high flies and things like that. But I did also like how Cross got out of those situations frequently in it. And so I was, in later times, I think I can be a Cross fan if he wasn't with Hardy.
Yeah, but I want to know how we transition from him in the ring saying you guys are gonna he's gonna pay for this, you guys are gonna pray and fall, to him and on a whole different network. Is he on NXT? What is happening? Somebody explain to me how him and William Regal what is going on? I was so confused.
Yeah,
so that's part of it.
Yeah,
Karrion Kross is the NXT champion, and we're going to talk about NXT in a little bit, but he didn't come out with the championship, and that wasn't really...
he did come out with the championship, didn't he?
Did he come out? Oh, yeah, wait.
I didn't see it in the Jeff match.
Maybe he did in the picture that I had up on YouTube. Who cares? Either way, he didn't look like the NXT champion in this match, which I think is the problem. And he lost, even though he is the top champion on that brand. Yeah. So a lot of people are not happy about the debut of Karrion Kross on Raw.
No, it was confusing.
Yeah, so we're done with the Raw clips. We'll go straight into the NXT ones. Right over there. Again, all the highlights can be found in either the show notes or the show description under the YouTube video or wherever you get your podcast. So in NXT, we get Samoa Joe. He is upset. We get a little recap about how Karrion Kross at the last NXT taping, Karrion Kross choked out Samoa Joe, who's working as a special guest referee in Kross's match against Johnny Gargano. So Samoa Joe is pissed. Samoa Joe is supposed to be an NXT official. Karrion Kross put his hands on him. Now Samoa Joe wants Karrion Kross. That's when we get William Regal coming out and being like, Joe, you're an official. You cannot, mix it up with the talent, basically. And he was like, you said unless I was provoked. Well, I'm provoked, doing his best Davon Rogers impression.
Well, I'm provoked.
Yeah. And so he spent the night looking for Karrion Kross. And as we go to find out, Karrion Kross, petty, laid out William Regal and showed Samoa Joe, and Samoa Joe is pissed, and Karrion Kross is still the NXT champion, and they completely packaged him very different, and it makes sense why he wasn't there too. They did it was a vignette of him because he was with the Raw crew over in Texas, and this is filmed in Florida. So weird, very weird. That's why I asked. That's why I wanted to ask you, Jacob, what you thought about his presentation on Raw before we got to NXT, because it's a little bit of a disconnect. Also, Karrion Kross has like a really hot wife named Scarlett who normally talks for him, and ever since his transition up to the main roster, they pulled her from his act, I think, to try and make sure that he look it up, to see if he can handle it without her. And for me personally, I could care less about him without Scarlett. So I don't know. I get why they're doing this, but I hope she comes back at some point, because meh.
I feel like he will. I mean, I feel like if the wife, in a sense, contains him a little bit more, and this was his unhinged, being able to speak freely however he wants. I mean, I was here for it, and specifically with the Samoa Joe situation. Even I loved all the antics, but I was very confused at when William came up to Samoa and they were talking about you can't I think fight the talent or something like that. I didn't understand that dynamic, and so if you can quickly break that down for me, that would be awesome.
So Samoa Joe was originally a wrestler. He was let go by the WWE. WWE ended up getting him back, but when he came back, William Regal asked him to be kind of like his enforcer, because at the time everybody was just fighting all around NXT. They weren't listening to William Regal, and he was trying to get them to all calm down. And then so he rehired Samoa Joe to be his co-GM to help reinforce people not fighting. And so the match that Samoa Joe was a special guest referee, it was Karrion Kross versus Johnny Gargano, and it kept getting heated, and it kept spilling out into the arena. So he made Samoa Joe the special guest referee to keep everything contained. But after the match, Karrion Kross, I mean, even before the match, Joe and Karrion Kross don't really like each other, but Samoa Joe is like, I'm an impartial, I'm gonna call the match the way I see it. But after the match, Kross attacked him, and so now Samoa Joe is like, bump that, I want his head. And William Regal is trying to be like, no, Joe, you can't do this.
So is he going to get his head now that Kross laid out William? I mean, he ran up to that car. He ran up to that car. He ran, and then he didn't get it. And so, I thought he was going to check on his friend before he, went towards the car, see if he was still alive. Because I thought the clip, I forgot what the clip said specifically, but I thought Kross ran over him. And I was like, wait, we're doing vehicular manslaughter now?
Yes.
And when he was down there, just like this, I was like, oh, he's dead. Until I went to the comments and I understood it fully. I was like, okay, he's still alive, and that's why he ran out there. I'm excited. I would be excited to see that matchup.
That exactly. That's why there's a weird disconnect, because I am way more. I want to see Samoa Joe beat the crap out of him personally, because I love Samoa Joe, and the way this feud is set up, we want to see him get beat. But he's the big bad guy, But the Raw presentation just made him kind of look like a goober. So it's weird. And Matt, by any chance, can you find a picture of Scarlett? Because Scarlett,
I found one.
Scarlett does not rein him in. If anything, she amps his crazy, which is why.
Oh, really? Oh, I love it.
Which is why I don't like that she's missing from his act. Yeah.
Yeah, and
So,
like the other thing about Scarlett, here's her roster page. So we're gonna have like a BB bio cast assessment type of look here. But here's Scarlett, and she's clearly evil. If you're watching the video, you clearly see she has these black leather nails that also, which literally might be nails. From if you zoom in,
it looks like it could be.
I think it's a glove nail. Oh, that's a hot picture.
It is,
so
right?
There's it's like a dominatrix situation.
Yeah, very
here.
much Catwoman,
really
very much dominatrix, very much whoops and chains excite me. I'm here for
let's
it.
keep go Rihanna over
And
here, and all of these
used
clips.
to be, their entrance is really cool. When they do it together, it's really, really cool. So it kind of sucks if they're about to move him to the main roster and take the entrance, because she mouths his words. Like in the entrance, there's all the smoke. She comes out, she mouths the words to his entrance music, and then he like shows up behind her and growls. It's a really, really cool entrance. So if
he shows up behind her and growls.
Yeah. So the camera.
I haven't been paying attention to details. Clearly,
clearly the camera follows her into the ring. She's like mouthing the words, and then all of a sudden she dips down, and then he comes up behind her. He like, and he just looks like a crazy person. Yeah, it's so good.
So can she go with him to the main roster? Can she go?
She should.
Yeah,
but I don't know. The rumors are they're trying to see if he can make it on his own, like if he can get over on his own on the main show.
Well, it don't look like it.
I don't know why.
No.
which is what Jacob liked him. So
I liked him.
Yeah.
I liked him.
For me, he came off like a flop. And here's why I'm mad. No, because seriously, because like I went from watching him lose to Jeff Hardy, who we know is 100 years old, and then you tell me, oh wait, he's the he's the guy, he's the Triple H, of my time, but on NXT. It's like, so if you're that, why are you losing to Jeff Hardy, this old ass man, on like, even if it was through like a stolen pinfall, like I said, we love Jeff Hardy, so that's debatable. Don't look, what did he say? Don't confuse me with the ridiculousness of semantics. Like, don't try to explain that to me, so it was hard for me to watch him. You tell me this is the guy, but also like, but he just lost to Jeff Hardy on his debut.
But I kind of feel like with that though, because I feel like he's kind of like a person that he won't stop talking even if he gets his ass beat. And I like those type of people because there's nothing that you can say to hush them up. And so even when he did lose, he came in, very well and kind of had that energy, and then we saw him, lose. And then he still picked up that energy after, Jeff Hardy got out of the ring. And so I was like, okay, so nothing is stopping this man from talking his ish. Nothing is stopping him. He's still going to talk it. And I think that's the aspect that I like. Like win, lose, or draw, he's still going to be him, and he's still going to rock his ish the best way that he can. And I feel like he never fought from that. And I feel like that's something that I really liked from his performance.
Exactly. And being able to get the last word after you lose like that probably means like it's not going to be good for Jeff Hardy. Like what he just did to William Regal probably is going to be 10 times worse for
but like the reality is like this isn't the biggest mistake of Jeff Hardy's life. Like
I dare you.
This is Jeff Hardy we're talking. Jeff Hardy.
I dare you.
Jeff Hardy.
Yeah.
Let's go to Wikipedia. You got it.
Yeah.
Or even look up the clips, like all.
Wow.
I just don't feel
Jeff
like
this is anti-black.
This
is anti-black. If you
I
just don't feel
like I just don't feel like this is going to be as good as the other shenanigans that Jeff Hardy has gotten into.
That's
true.
See, now I'm backing away from my anti-blackness.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Okay.
Juneteenth wasn't that far away. Stop it.
Wait, do y'all remember? Did y'all watch Jersey Shore?
Yes, of course.
Yeah. Okay, for some reason this clip just came into my mind when Jenny J. Wow, after her and Sammy got into the fight over the letter, over the Shakespearean poem, she was talking to Sammy and she was like, "You're gonna get your ass beat, get your ass," or Angelica or whatever, Angelina or whatever.
Angelina, yeah.
She's like, "You're gonna get your ass beat, get your ass beat, get your ass beat," and that reminded me of Cross just now. It's like you're gonna get your ass beat, still come back and like still talk your ish, and then get your ass beat, still come, talk your ish, and then same thing happens again. And so I like that energy. I mean, come with it. If you lose, still happen when you get back up. So I'm here.
Yeah, and you know what? Yeah, you have to be willing to like take a punch to the face, and that's what it's all about.
Or a couple, yeah.
Or a few.
All right. Truer words have never been spoken. I don't know. So next we get Hit Row. They crash Legado del Fantasma.
I love this.
Mariachi Madness musical, which I was like, what is what?
Could I ask? They were saying that they were claiming, Santos Escobar was claiming that this is the best music in the I haven't heard this take. And I'm not anti-mariachi. Don't come to me, mariachi listeners. But I'm just wondering. I haven't heard this take before about it being the best music in the world.
Wait, did he say that as a factual thing? Like, oh, this is a factual thing? Or did he say, oh, this is the best music in the world? I mean, because people, I can say, oh, Kanye West, Jay-Z, the best music in the world. But Chappelle can say, nah, you know what I mean? Big Sean is up there.
It was a matter of fact. Yeah, it was a heel. Kind of like he was 2 seconds away from saying like that rap sucks. You know what I'm saying? Like it was like you know what I'm saying? He was like that line was like I was staring at it. I was like, is he gonna cross that? But he was basically like mariachi music is the best music, and he was about to let them play, and then he's like, no, y'all don't deserve to hear this. This is the best music ever. And and then we get Santos Escobar and Isaiah Swerve Scott, which I love that. I want to put here, WWE is bringing up the past a lot more. I think Matt, you pointed it out on one of our podcasts last week, but they're really referencing the past and I forgot because Santos Escobar and Isaiah Swerve Scott had just recently fought over the cruiserweight title when Santos Escobar had the cruiserweight title a few months ago. So when Hit Row confronted them last week, it was because Isaiah was like, oh, you needed your little crew to help you keep that cruiserweight championship. He's like, well, now I got a crew and I got a championship, and he wanted to resume some hostilities. So I love this Legado. I'm a big fan of Legado del Fantasma. Hit Row coming out and just I was like, okay. At first I was like, oh, this is a promo. Oh wait, it's a freestyle. Okay. All right. It's okay. Like either way, I was like, I'm good. I'm good with this. Yeah, they were so funny. Santos Escobar looked like he was about to hit Swerve with a guitar, and Brianna, I keep calling her Brianna Brandy because that's her real name.
B-Fab.
Took the guitar from him before he could. Just great. So let's go with Matt.
I loved everything about this.
Matt, what did you think?
Yeah,
I agree.
I love everything about this too. I feel like it's the pro wrestling of it all, that someone's about to hit someone else with the guitar and just happens to back into someone else who's grabbing the guitar and stealing it. But I liked the moment. Like I always love a good guitar shot. It really reminds me of like Jeff Jarrett, who for those in the late 90s, late 90s with the guitar shots especially, but Jeff Jarrett, shout out, I'm sure he's listening to the podcast. Shout out to you, Jeff. And you know what, I think that the cool thing here will be seeing how it kind of all unfolds. Like I did think that the fact that Santos Escobar got out of there was great, but I mean, Hit Row keeps coming out looking so strong, and I'm happy about that. I'm not ready for the moment that they're jobbing out and that they're not like taking the win and standing tall.
Jacob.
Yeah, I mean, once they came out and they were saying like, "Yo, we got the action," and then they were saying like, "Yo," when they got into the ring, say the word. I was just here for the entire thing, and just how fast the two collisions happened. Like onside means onside. Like they just went out for each other. But I did wonder like once. I'm not good with names, but once the one guy kind of rolled out of the ring and then the other guy came in and then the three kind of made the triangle effect on him. I was like, yo, I'll be so pissed if two of my homeboys stood there, watched me get, because it wasn't like, it wasn't like an immediate slam of the guitar. It was like, yo, we're gonna play with you for a little bit and then we're gonna smash. While the other guy stood outside just like, you know what I mean? But I love the entire thing. I thought they were going to jump him, and I was going to be here for that. So I was here for the entire measures that Hit Row had. And then I loved that. What was the girl's name that took the guitar? BFAP. I love that she took. It was just like the whole entire thing. She took it, and then he got it back, and then it was like, we're just gonna swear that thing. It was amazing. I was here for the entire thing. I loved it. It was probably my favorite fight of the match, besides the Bianca one. Of the night.
Chappell?
No, I agree. Y'all said it all. This was fun. I definitely got the Jeff Jarrett vibes. I was nervous about the guitar because I was like, they brought it out. You got to hit somebody with it, and then it's there, so you kind of have to use it. But no, I agree. Jacob said everything I wanted to say for sure. This was fun. These cultural fights are always interesting. Like the mariachi match, the Nigerian drum battles. I like that the WWE and like these wrestling brands are all like leaning into some of the things that make these wrestlers different. But we don't want to get too cartoony with some of the characterizations. It's wrestling, so it is cartoony. But you got to be respectful. But I like mariachi as well. Jacob and I are from Texas, so that's not something it's not foreign.
Literally.
We can find that right now if I wanted to go.
Honestly,
if I wanted to.
1000%.
So that's not. So this was fun. This was two worlds of mine colliding, and I liked every second of it.
So yeah, this was really good. I mean, they really toed the line there between, again, the hip hop versus the mariachi, the different cultures, like Chappelle said. I think this is going to be a really good feud. I mean, come on, we're already getting jumpings, like Jacob said. So,
do we have any country stars? Because we can add that genre of music into the mix as well.
One of the next clips, actually.
Wait, who's the country star?
Cameron Grimes originally. When he originally debuted, he had that country gimmick. He wasn't singing. Yeah, that's true, but it was very
country star.
That's what he was.
Our segues are really good.
Right.
Speaking of country and stars.
Yes. So our next clip, we got the continuation of Cameron Grimes being the butler for LA Knight, which was
was fun.
This has been so fun, and I'm so glad whoever came up with this concept, not the concept, because this concept is older than dirt, but like this storyline is really, really, really funny. So we get LA Knight and Cameron Grimes pulling up. LA tells Cameron Grimes, go grab my bags. Cameron Grimes grabbing those clearly empty bags. Those bags are like clearly empty.
I mean, maybe they were just really light.
Funny.
Like
he's a strong guy.
Yeah, I feel like something had to be in there.
I just loved it. It was just like, it was so Looney Tunes style.
Yeah,
like,
it was.
And considering how little he wears, like how little he's wearing in the ring, he just has his trunks and like his elbow pads and his boots. So maybe he has like a different bag for each of them.
For each elbow pad.
You mean LA Knight, right? Yeah. Right. Like, what's in those LA bags? Yeah.
His underwear. Yeah, everything.
Like several underwears. So Drake Maverick pulls up just to give Cameron Grimes some help. And then
I thought he was Derek Huff. When I first saw him, I legit thought he was Derek
Country Western
Huff.
Stars. Yeah.
Yes, I was like, wait, did Derek Huff? When did he get into this?
I don't think Derek Huff is that short. Like, is Derek Huff 5'2"?
Actually,
he might be. Yeah, he might be. He's a dancer. Yeah.
Well, yes, and Drake Maverick pulled up. He just trying to help Cameron. LA Knight is like, my butler doesn't need any help.
Get away from him.
This is just so funny. Like, again, they're going back and forth while just in the background, Cameron is just like trying to balance all of the bags. And so it ends with it leads to a fight in the ring for Drake Maverick and LA Knight.
What? Okay, but before that,
yes,
the fact that the setup for this match, I had to watch this segment a couple of times because I was like, wait, what's the logic here? So he goes, like, Maverick shows up. He's like, oh, I want to help with your bags. He's going to grab the bags. And then it turns into a match because he's being helpful.
Yes.
Yeah. Leave my servant alone. Mind your business.
LA Knight, that's the point. LA Knight wants this butlership to be so horrendous for Cameron Grimes, but he just can't do it because Cameron Grimes is just too happy about being his butler. So it's taking all of the fun out of it.
Well, is he?
for LA
Why
Knight.
is he trying to punish him? What is it? How did he end up in this position where he's in an indentured servant? Like, what happened?
Yes. So they were both fighting over that $1 million championship belt. They first had a ladder match for it that LA Knight won. LA Knight then attacked Ted DiBiase because he's the originator of that the $1 million man title. And so Cameron Grimes challenged him to a match to defend Ted DiBiase. LA Knight said, I'll take your match, but if you lose to me, you have to be my butler. So of course, Cameron Grimes lost in that match because LA Knight
He's such a good sport.
I know.
Yeah.
But he lost. He knows he got cheated, and he's like, "I'll be your butler. It's fine."
Exactly, and that's what's pissing LA Knight off because he wants him to suffer. He wants Cameron Grimes to be miserable, but Cameron Grimes is just not miserable, and so he tried to take it out on Drake Maverick in a match in the ring, and then he ended up getting distracted by Cameron Grimes and lost to Drake Maverick, which is like, because Drake Maverick is very kind of low on the totem pole too, like he's jobber-esque. This pissed LA Knight off even more because he just lost to somebody he shouldn't have lost to. So great segment.
Jacob, can I be your butler, Jacob?
Oh, I thought that was already the setup that we had working.
Well, I don't know. I was you were the manager last time, but I'm the butler, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, yeah. You can. Well, you want me to be your butler because you?
No, because I feel like you have. I feel like you have heavier bags, and so let me take that. I'll take that. Okay. Yeah, you got a lot of shit in your bags. You're not.
Yeah. I don't travel light.
No.
But I did. I loved. I got the segue. I was kind of confused about like how did that lead to this, but I was still here for it. You know what I mean? I was still here for it. And Maverick, he kind of got the Captain Save-A-Ho, want to be Captain Save-A-Ho in a way, and I was here for that as well. And the way that I was happy that he won, and the way that LA Knight took so many like cheap shots, but I'm here for the cheap shots as well. But I still loved how even. Cameron was advising Maverick on kind of like, oh, look, don't keep looking this way, turn around, you know what I mean? And so I love that kind of turnaround effect that it happened. And then at the end, when they still was fighting, and then Cameron hopped into the ring, was like, no, it's over, whoop-de-doo. I love that. But the moment that LA Knight said, go hit him, I was shook. I was like, wait, is he? He's not going to, because I thought he was going to turn around and like smack LA Knight, because I was like, he deserves it. You kind of, I feel like the facade of like the happiness went away in that very small moment. But after he hit him, I was like, okay, it's back. He's still like, he wants to be his, indentured servant. But I was like, ugh, but still here for it in a sense.
Yeah,
how does he get out of this?
We don't know how long.
How does he get out of this?
It's very much like a Key and Peele, like a Michael Peele. What's the guy who what's the director who does like the You movies and the Stirring Cup? Jordan Peele. It's very much like a Jordan Peele type of like, you know what I mean? Because I thought he for sure snapped out of it when he took the cheap shot at Maverick, but then he didn't, and he listened to him, and then he smacked him, and so I was like, but we'll see.
Yeah,
it's a rough life. We
don't know what's the stipulation, the contract for this indentured servitude. I guess we'll find out.
But also like a punch to the face in wrestling. Like this was a very dramatic punch for like this is pro wrestling. You need to hit someone over the head with like at least 3 steel chairs for it to really matter. Be a situation. Yeah.
Oh my god, y'all are crazy. So that was a funny highlight for me for the whole NXT show. I really liked this. NXT was actually pretty good. I actually really liked it. Next up, we got Frankie Monet in a match against
Frankie.
Yeah,
I'm bad and bougie.
I specifically went to look for her entrance. I wanted you guys to see her entrance because I wanted to get your opinion on Frankie's entrance. What did Jacob? What did you think of Frankie Monet?
So I'm a fashion guy. I love the va booms, the shing cling clings, the balo doos, da 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 da. I love everything. And so when she came out, the aura was very like airy, like white airy. It's like a very princess. I love the fluff. I love the ruffles. And when she stripped down, boom. I was here for it. I was here for the entire thing, and I liked it. It was very like, it was kind of like two different personalities. Like at the beginning, walking down, and then once she got to the ring, it was just like a boom, and then it was like a much more of a lioness type of a behavior, and I liked it very much. I was here for it.
Chappell.
Yeah, it was very interesting to see her come out kind of like Jacob said, kind of like fantastic and like fabulous. Like that's her whole thing. Like it's extra. But then when she got in the ring to fight, I was like, oh, okay, she means business. Like, so it's this weird dichotomy of just like, oh, like I'm this very, like ethereal like kind of creature almost, and I have this sidekick who's following me, but then when she gets in the ring, she's like she is a force in the ring, at least in this match she was. And so I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah, she looked like she's straight out of a snow globe with her entrance,
literally.
Really. And it's just like, she and it's perfect because she's just shaking things up in NXT. Like we don't know exactly where it's going right now, but she is clearly a boss. Technically not anyone's boss yet, but she's putting out that like
she has that
big Frankie, that BFE,
that
big Frankie energy. Yeah, that girl boss energy.
She looked like she beat ass. Like when she came, I was like, I knew that. I was like, oh no, she ain't finna lose this match. I don't know who's about to come out, but she about to win this match. She looked like she beat ass.
Look at her.
That woman?
Oh my, look at her face.
I was like, yeah, she's very close on that opponent. I love Frankie.
Oh, wow.
So
that photo, that's a good photo.
I was like, let's put that down so we don't get
included her entrance. They would.
No, she's great.
Because I just love it. I think it starts off where she said, "Oh, were you expecting anybody else? It's me, Frankie." And a good voiceover introduction for an entrance is like that's like one way ticket to the top. But then it goes into like a rap, and her rap is like bougie and bad. I'm bougie and bad. Bougie and bad. I really liked it. And she's a very famous former indie wrestler, Taya Valkyrie, who is also married to John Morrison, aka
the mayor of Slam
Town. Yes,
all that stuff.
Yeah, the former Survivor contestant. So she is.
Some call him Dad.
So amazing. And this is her new character, Frankie Monet, here in WWE. And like Matt said, we didn't know where it was going when she first got the name change, and she was just kind of popping up. But now this was so good. So she pops up. Last week, the Robert Stone brand was kind of dismantled because his main person, Aaliyah, left. So Frankie does her entrance. She waves Jesse Kamea out, the other person who's on Robert Stone brand, and as I was about to call her Taya, as Frankie was having her match, Robert Stone himself came out like he was trying to get dressed because like clearly he didn't get the memo, but he was like, oh, that's my people out there, that's my people. The Robert Stone brand has just been the Bad News Bears ever since. Like he can't do anything right. That's why in that last clip we saw after Frankie wins her match, we have them asking, so are you part of the Robert Stone brand? And she's like, I don't know, maybe I'll join with them, maybe I'll tear it all down and start from the beginning. But that's why he's so excited, because he's like, oh, I finally got a star. But we also got Mandy Rose sitting on the announce table during this match, which was hella weird.
She just came here for attention, it seems, right? Because I know Mandy Rose, but I know Mandy Rose from one of my previous appearances on this podcast, and so I'm familiar. But I thought, like, what is she doing? It just looks like I just kind of came to scope it out and draw some attention away from the match, and let's look at me right now. So, Did they pay her any attention? Maybe the announcers did, but it didn't seem like anybody else cared that she was there.
Could I ask just like a small detail with Mandy Rose? The fashion, do these count as red bottoms?
Oh my god,
these are red bottoms, but she doesn't put the sticker. She doesn't put the sticker on that thing, so they get very rusted very easily. Because sometimes people put Yeah, she could have used nail polish.
So bad.
Listen,
when I saw her kick them feet up,
not kick them dolls up.
Listen, if you out here and you trying to go get chose, or you're going to these events as All-Star Weekend coming up, or some pay-per-view, and you need to wear red bottoms, I will paint the bottom of your shoes red for a nominal fee. When the All-Star game came to Houston, I posted it on Twitter, and I was getting phone calls. Look, you ain't gotta be in red. You ain't gotta pay red bottom prices to get red bottoms, but if you do, you gotta maintain the red, man. Like that is the ghetto.
The shoes with the ghetto. She really should have rethought this, or
it. And I feel like guys don't know. Because the shoe f's it all the way up. Like everything else is good. Yeah.
And the red would hit so hard if it was fully red at the bottom, because it's the all black with the blonde hair and the red. It would have been
messed it up.
But yeah.
If you're watching on YouTube right now, we're staring at the picture of Mandy Rose on the announce.
Can't look away.
Yeah, Mandy Rose last week in NXT. She showed up in NXT. We have no idea what's going on, because she was just on Raw that Monday. So rumors are she's now in NXT. Maybe she's looking for a new partner. We don't know what her deal is. So she's just been scoping. I don't know. But this was not a good look.
Does she wrestle in those red bottoms? Because Jesus Christ, like
I feel like that would be the only excuse. That can be if she gets busy in those red bottoms and she was about to hop in that ring, that would be the only excuse that I would give her. Because she knew what she was there for. But
the cameraman did her no favors either.
No, at all.
I would have zoomed in slowly on them red bottoms. Y'all would have, you acted like a clown. I'm gonna treat you like one.
Yeah, not great.
Yeah. So basically, I loved all of this. I can't wait to see Frankie Monet really just Frankie Monet versus a Raquel Gonzalez match down the line can be really, really good. Really good. So speaking of which, our last highlight for NXT, which was one where I was like, I don't even know if I wanted to include this. We got the match between Raquel Gonzalez versus Xia Li for the NXT Women's Title match. However, it ended. They rushed the finish. They didn't do a stoppage, but they rushed the finish because Xia Li clearly got injured in a move. And this is was this the second week in a row there's been an injury for the women on NXT, and it just wasn't. It was very unfortunate. It's very unfortunate because, again, like we talked about with the last injury, Xia Li accidentally knocked Mercedes Martinez out when they had a match. Well, it was like 2 weeks ago. And so Xia is very new. She's new to wrestling, and so is Raquel. Again, they both have about the same amount of experience. It's been about 3 years, I want to say. And unfortunately, Raquel hit I think it was a senton and landed full force on Xia Li's midsection. Like the timing just did not work. I think Xia thought she had a little bit more time to brace for the impact, but Raquel went so fast into the move that she wasn't prepared for it, and it just looked. Everybody is saying that Xia is okay. We thought it was going to be a rib injury, but it looks like she should be okay. But it just did not look.
It didn't look good
because they
was hurt.
They did the finish after that, so maybe she just was like stunned and had the wind knocked out of her. I thought that was so strange because I didn't even read it as her being hurt. Like when I watched this, I was just thinking like, okay, that's weird that they would have the medics come in, like check on her for a minute, and then they hit the move in the finish. But to me, that says that she's okay, so that's good. But yeah, not a great month really for her in terms of injuries for potentially herself, but for Mercedes Martinez, who Mari mentioned. Yeah. What did you all think of this match? Even was there anything that stood out here?
I mean, besides the injury, which it was definitely like hard to see because I just feel like I can just like feel it almost, and that was just like so unfortunate. So like other than that, I feel like it started off as a good fight though. I definitely liked it, but that kind of put like a
damper on it.
A damper on things.
Yeah. Same here. I kind of peeped it when it happened because she kicked out after the injury. She kicked out, and I was like, "Oh, okay." Yeah. And I thought, like, okay, well, she's probably gonna win the match if she's kicking out or something like this because that looked like it hurt. Well, then she's like, "Get up! You asked for this," and I'm like, "Oh, that's awkward. Y'all are like ad-libbing at this point. Like she's like trying to stall. Like, why aren't you finishing the match with me?" And that's when it kind of dawned on me. I was like, "Oh my gosh!" So I don't know Raquel Gonzalez, right? I don't know her that well, but it looks like she would be, I guess, the next big foil, like you were saying, for Frankie Monet.
She's the champion. Right.
And so I'm thinking Frankie Monet is going to have to take this from her because it doesn't look like Raquel is experienced enough to keep this going for long, especially if there's going to be like injuries and stuff like that. I don't want her hurting people, but also like I just feel like Frankie Monet like exudes what a champion is going to carry with the with her entrance and with the fighting style, and even when after the match when the woman from American Ninja Warrior shows up, and I was so confused. Yeah. So they're like Casey Catanzaro. I was like, why do I know this name? And I'm thinking. Yeah, but I'm sitting there like, why do I know the name Casey Catanzaro? Who is this? And I'm thinking maybe she's like from back in the day when I was watching wrestling. I Googled. I said, that's American Ninja Warrior Casey. No wonder why Frankie Monet pays her dust. And so when she ignores her, I'm thinking, right? She's like, so anyway. So I'm thinking, okay, Frankie has to be going after Raquel. And so after this match, I was thinking maybe Raquel doesn't keep the championship for much longer, just because Frankie just kind of gives you that energy of this person is the champion and people should be trying to take her down, whereas Raquel wasn't giving me that. And so I don't know if that's just me just reading into it too much, but that's just how I felt watching it.
Yeah, I mean, Frankie is still technically new to NXT, but she's been a indie wrestler like darling for a decade or so now, if I remember correctly. So she's just so polished. But they're clearly gonna build her up, and I can't wait for that. But Raquel is green. You know, injuries happen. We're not gonna sit here and it's wrestling, so it happens. But honestly, after this win, no matter what, me and my husband, we were speculating. We're like, well, what happens now? Because I mean, the top, there's no more top competitors really for her to face. She faced Ember Moon, Shotzi and Tegan Knox are on SmackDown now. Io Shirai is now with Zoe Stark in a tag team. So the only other recourse is her and Dakota are going to have to fight at some point. Dakota was Raquel Gonzalez's the girl with pink hairs, her little sidekick kind of. So I think we got to get through that or something, but it's looking pretty thin. So the next logical step would be Frankie Monet because she's the single competitor that is coming up. So yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate. It really is. Raquel's reign has been, I mean, it's been.
I think she just needs like you said, a dance partner. I think Frankie could be that person,
I agree. And I think maybe she needs an experienced one because her and Ember Moon, they had a very good match. The only thing is the feud wasn't believable because we didn't really think Ember Moon was gonna win that belt. Zaya again is at the same level as her, so it didn't really seem like she was going to win the belt either. So once she gets into a feud where we could think that maybe she might get upset, that might be great. And especially with somebody with some experience, could really help with that. But I think they keep it on her. I think they'll keep it on her for a while because when did she win that title, Matt? At Stand and Deliver, which was around WrestleMania-ish.
Just
something like that.
March.
Yeah, they just congratulated. It was kind of shady because they congratulated Raquel for being the champion for over 100 days. And they said also congratulations to Bianca Belair for also passing the 100-day mark, which is shady because literally Raquel, Bianca, and Rhea all kind of won their titles all at the same time. And they had this big old photo shoot of like, oh, this is the new era. And that's one of the reasons why, again, I'm a little pissed off at that. But they were like, this is the new era. This is women's wrestling. And they said that right after Rhea had lost her title.
Yeah, like she got to like 99 days probably.
You're like, ooh, sorry.
Sorry, yeah. They
No participation
stated,
trophy.
That sucks.
Yeah,
they said
sad.
shout out Bianca, shout out Raquel. I'm just like, well now.
Have they all been defending their titles consistently though? Like because I remember when Asuka had
Pretty
the title,
much.
she was not, right?
She was
She
not.
wasn't she wasn't
but
competing as a
Bianca, I know.
singles. Yeah.
Yeah, but I know Bianca had a bunch of Asuka was a tag team, right? And so, but I didn't know. I'm not familiar with Raquel Gonzalez, so this was different for me to watch.
Yeah, so this is Raquel's third opponent. I think she went up against Io. She took it from Io. She went up against Io again. She went up against Ember. And she went up against Xia Li. Bianca has gone up against Bayley. She had that long feud with Bayley, and then Carmella.
Mm-hmm.
Rhea has only fought Charlotte, so that's the difference. That's a little bit of the difference there. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's it for the NXT highlights. We'll jump straight here into SmackDown, where we get a replay of Raw. We get John Cena coming out on SmackDown, popping the crowd, talking about how Roman Reigns is overhyped, challenging him to a match, telling him to come out here, and then we get Paul Heyman.
Paid dust. I love it.
That was
I love when anybody calls somebody out and they're just like, I cannot be bothered with you. You do not matter. That is my favorite thing in the world. Like anytime someone's like, I hate you, you're like, who are you? I love it. I love it. So this was good for me.
Yeah, that's so messed up, isn't it? Jacob, another dose of John Cena wearing the same exact thing for the third night in a row. Like this is like Money in the Bank, Raw, and then SmackDown. Like,
I mean, if he wants to stick to a brand, I mean, he's sticking to it. I did think that John Cena is such like a legendary name. And like just like a super popular name, and just for like that type of energy, just like, oh yeah, calling him out, and then just like, okay, you know what I mean? I thought it was just super funny, kind of like do they call it an egg in the face or a hand in the face? Like a
slap to the face, like, or you got egg in your face.
Yeah.
Boot to the face.
A boot to the
slap
face.
in the face.
All of it.
Yeah,
all of it. Honestly, yeah.
Yeah. Matt?
Oh my gosh, this was I got really tired of John Cena by this promo. Like, really? We're just gonna put up with this man showing up and talking? Like that's we're into that now. We're back into that. I remember, the painful days of like. I guess it's 20 years ago now, but it was Triple H coming out every Raw to start the show on the mic for 10 to 15 to 20 minutes, usually 20 minutes. And no one likes that. No one needs it. No one wants to hear from John Cena like that. Forget you, go home. Goodbye, Cena, because we don't need that. We don't need it. And we'll talk about what happened over the course of this, but he got a little bit punked out over the course of this show, which I like.
He did.
Yes. So he got punked out. Yeah. Again, he just came out. He had to pop the crowd talking about the Indians just had to change their name. The Cleveland Indians changed their name to the Cleveland Guardians and got booed because right. He has to run through his crowd pleasing antics.
It was just too much.
Yeah.
Always.
So this is what we got to open the show, and to finish the show, we got the Usos defended their championship against the Mysterios. They won. Well, sorry, they didn't defend their championships. I'm sorry. It was Jimmy Uso versus Dominic. And again, it didn't matter because all we got was Roman and Paul Heyman come out to the ring. Roman just kind of bodied John Cena on the mic.
I loved it.
He ate him up.
Paul Heyman holding the championship in the back, laughing, just cracking up.
When that man said, "Nobody cares. I can't see you. I don't want to see you. You
I
want
don't
your
need
old
to
ass
see
out
you."
here.
Literally,
I have exactly.
He played him. I was like, John, you take it. You're going out sad, baby. You gotta hit him.
I even like when he made a comment. He was like, Hollywood lied to me and they just put a new paint job on John Cena. I'm like, he's wearing the same stuff. So I mean, the paint job is still the same color. But Roman Reigns' energy is like, I feel like fantastic. He has very much so BDE.
Yeah, and he was like, he said, John Cena, it's the same thing every night. It's like missionary. It's the same thing night after night after
with the lights
night.
Off.
I was
How
like,
dare you?
And the kids are like,
wow.
Mommy, what's missionary?
Yeah. Oh my God. Roman Reigns is a king. Everything he said was accurate. And you know what? Honestly, I would love for him to be my boss because I could imagine, like, if I was getting fired, to be fired like that, like, you know what, Matt? You know, you told me that I can't see you. I don't, you know, and you know what? I don't want to see, you know what? Yeah, you don't need to see me anymore because you're gone. Like that. It's nice. Brilliant. And this promo is so much better than Cena's.
Yeah.
What? When did that happen?
Yeah.
He does a really good job at like sunsing people. Oh yes.
He told the crowd to acknowledge him. He looked dead in our face, and you at home acknowledging. I was like,
okay, but
I love that.
Yeah.
When he hits him with the like, you will not get a main event match. I'm sorry. Like SummerSlam's coming and you won't be there. I apologize to you. But why does Finn Balor come out? Like what is this?
Finn Balor had a match earlier in the night against Sami Zayn. He won. It was just, you know, Finn had debuted last week, attacked Sami Zayn. They settled it, whatever. So Finn comes out to challenge Roman, which again, I'm pretty sure they had a match like this before as well. I think Finn had challenged. Yeah. So Roman was like, well, all right, I'll accept your match instead of John Cena's, which again is very funny.
Very funny.
It's childish. It was like, John Cena, you can't even, but okay, Finn, let's go.
Yeah, let's go.
Paul Heyman is such a punk, though. Paul Heyman is you're just standing there, like constantly holding up the championship.
Like it's like a supporter. It's like a supportive girlfriend. Like, yes, come on, you got this. Like a mom. He's like, I like that energy.
You're doing great, sweetie.
Yeah.
You're doing
great, sweetie.
Soccer mom
I just
energy.
love how different he's advocating for Roman than he does for Brock, because you know when they initially linked up, you thought you were going to get the same shtick with Brock, you know, but I love how they explain the difference between representing Brock and representing Roman, and it's just amazing. It really is. This is the best act going in wrestling for me. I that's my personal opinion. So I love this night. I love him being like, well, it just makes more sense into character. It's like he's not Bobby Lashley. He's not gonna let Goldberg just come in and decide he's getting a match. Roman is like, no, I don't have to acknowledge you. So
yeah.
So I like this. This. That means we're gonna have to get more of John Cena popping up and begging for a match, I guess. So
which is wild, because how far have we fallen, John Cena? I think the brand likes him enough to where they won't allow this for too long, but I'm enjoying seeing him like this. I just feel like you got to lean into that, and they're doing a good job of it.
Roman does a good job at like making people feel like they're his sons. Like he does like you're my son, sit down over there. You know,
sit down, yeah,
so or else.
Jacob, he was murdering people at Christmas time and then making their family watch him. Like I'm not even joking. Yeah, I was like, excuse me, at the
he was
dinner
taking
table?
People's families. He was stealing their families right around Christmas. He was giving their kids Christmas gifts instead of because he was taking over, and he's a king.
Like Nicki Minaj, all you bitches, my son's going to sell.
All you bitches is my son.
Yeah, the body vibes.
Yeah. So great from John Cena and Roman Reigns. Next we get so like I said, John Cena talked about the Cleveland Indians because half of SmackDown was in Cleveland. The other part of SmackDown was at Rolling Loud in Miami. So this was announced a few weeks ago. We kept trying to talk about it, but we had so many great guests over the last few weeks that we talked so much we never got to the shoot, and this was going to be one of our shoots. when it was first announced that WWE was going to be at Rolling Loud, I was like, oh wow, that's cool. For some of you guys who don't know, Rolling Loud is a hip hop festival that I don't know, it's held every year normally, except for last year. And WWE was on the main stage at Rolling Loud, and what we originally wanted to talk about before the event happened was the reaction by some of the wrestling fans, which was just downright borderline racist. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna pull punches here, because people were saying like, that's not the kind of audience you want to broaden out to.
Sheesh.
Why?
You just said that it was your whole chest. Oh,
yeah,
and now it's tweets not loading. Like what?
But why though? Yeah, like what about this crowd? Don't you think we should be marketing wrestling tour? Like who is in the crowd are we not speaking to? Because let's be very clear, there are probably more white people at Rolling Loud than you would than black people, for one. So let's be very clear. And all of those people probably watch wrestling, and they definitely roll loud as well. So I don't know what y'all trying to say, but I don't like it. And so, watch your mouth. Watch your mouth. You know what I'm saying?
So that announcement, first and foremost, was very, very, very annoying. So then we get to last night. They actually have the matches there. Again, before you get to the matches, there was just a lot on Twitter like, oh, the Rolling Loud crowd, they don't care. They're not excited. This was a misstep for WWE. Those people don't care. It's just kind of like a few things here. Sorry, about to get here on my soapbox.
No, go in.
It's a music festival that had wrestling in it. As wrestling fans, we've had it where we've been at a pay-per-view and a musical act comes out.
Dog, Bad Bunny was just at WrestleMania, bro.
Literally.
Literally. Are you kidding me?
And a good portion of people are like, boo, we came here for wrestling. Why is there a musician there? So why would we think it'd be kind of any different if somebody was at a music festival and saw wrestling? It's not a bad showing on the product. It's just people are there expecting something else, and they're just waiting. Because that was another thing. That crowd, it was 9:00 at night. The show had already been like delayed. Some acts had canceled. I think at one point, maybe during the Bianca match, they were shouting, "We want Bobby!" Like Bobby Shmurda was supposed to come on, then Bobby,
bring him out.
Then Bobby Shmurda came on, and during Bobby Shmurda's set, they chanted, "We want Cardi." So no matter what, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're not going off the react. This isn't for the crowd reaction. This is to get people exposed to new stars. Like a lot of people on Twitter were saying maybe they should have brought out the Jeff Hardys, like Chappelle said, because black people love Jeff Hardy, or bring out some Triple H's, some people that they know. Which I can see that if you want to get the crowd to pop, maybe you do that. But I don't think that was what we wanted to do. We wanted exposure. We wanted to expose people to the new stars. Now, is it kind of weird that all of the stars that they had out there were the black ones?
No, it makes sense.
It makes sense.
Play to your crowd.
Okay, the black people have to win here.
Like,
wouldn't that be crazy if Carmella beat Bianca at?
I would have. You would have.
I'd
have been on the plane to Miami. Excuse me. Mari, do you think though there is merit to saying, like, if you're going to do this, you can do both? You can expose them to new people, like these, up and coming superstars, but you can also insert somebody, a bigger name, to kind of get people invested in this. Like we got John Cena old ass on SmackDown proper in Cleveland. They could have done that same promo because he was getting ignored all the way in Rolling Loud, and then people will be like, oh, John Cena, that was the last time I was really watching wrestling. I remember he too was black at one point. He's not anymore, but look at that. And then and also have the fight that we got, and what was it, the Chad Gables fight? Get that
Chad
fight
Gables and Angelo Dawkins.
And so maybe incorporate those two together so you can get more buy-in. But for me, nah, bro, if I pay for a music festivals are expensive. You be there all day. So, of course, you're wanting the next act to come in because you want to see the faves that you get. But if you get an added wrestling match, I'm not going to, complain. Shoot, those tickets are expensive. So, I don't know.
They had Wale introduce it, so I thought Wale was going to bridge the gap.
That doesn't.
Never mind.
Wale.
Let me not get canceled today.
But Wale.
The Puma of rap?
Yeah. I feel like the thing with this too is like, okay, number one, like the crowd, the whole setup was just so weird. By the way, if you're watching on YouTube, go to Walgreens. That's the ad that's currently up on the pictures. But anyway, the crowd, like the stage was in front of the crowd, so it was just an awkward setup that's not really built for wrestling, which is one thing. And then the other thing is like, I'm sure there wasn't live commentary being played over the speakers, and so you're like, what's even going on here? So it wasn't like set up to succeed. But then on top of that, you put in Chad Gable and Angelo Dawkins, which like,
who? Why isn't Montez Ford on there? Like,
even then, exactly. Like, that's the thing. Like, why are we getting this match? Like, and you could even put, like, we talked about John Cena being out there. Jeff Hardy would be interesting. There are lots of people with more musical things.
Oh, Randy Orton,
even like Shinsuke Nakamura could have been interesting because he's King Nakamura now, another wrestler, but he has a manager named Rick Boogs who has an air guitar. Maybe you bring that out. Like, I don't know,
guitar, electric
guitar.
It's
like do so.
Yeah, that's
I don't look.
It's okay.
I don't know what I'm talking about. Look, but they could do so much more.
They should have played the Roman promo there as well, because if you ain't paying attention, that would get your attention. You know, like somebody just completely disrespecting John Cena, somebody who you thought was at the peak. Yeah, like, it would have been just good. Play the promo, as well. You know, I would have liked that.
So we say all that to say there could have been things that they did better, but I say all that to say I still appreciate the effort. I really do, because no matter what, even if some people weren't feeling it right then and there, you really don't know how many of those people don't go home and be like, yeah, that girl with a braid, like, she was kind of cool, and go home and look it up later. You know what I'm saying? When they're in the mood for wrestling and not music. You know what I'm saying? So I commend that so much, just because you are trying to broaden your audience and you're trying to get more people, more eyes on your product. Because how many times, Matt, have we had all of our different RHAP counterparts on here, especially ones of color, who were like, I didn't know there were this many Black people wrestling for WWE. I didn't know there was this many, whatever. Like, WWE, that's the one thing I do like about the current product for WWE. It is so diverse. The diversity across all three brands is, you can't understate how important it is and how organic it feels. And it's one of the reasons why I stick with WWE, because I just love the wrestlers that I see on my TV every day, because a lot of them look like me, or you know, I can connect with them.
They didn't have Black people setting up this Rolling Loud agreement arrangement, because they were like, they said to themselves, okay, we need the Black wrestlers, we need a Black wrestler to win, and then that was it. That was all that they had. That was all the goal.
Yeah.
But I think Bianca was a great choice, though, because even if you have not been following wrestling super close, I think you still might have a good working knowledge of who she is, because
I knew who she was.
Exactly. Like, if nothing else, she's on Twitter these days. Like, she's so like popular, and she deserves, right? And so having her there was like the push, you know, like the initial match is definitely, you know, something that, like, okay, it could have left some things to desire, because you just don't know these other wrestlers like you know her. But like, she was the big name, and I was very happy that they chose her in this spot, because she is that ambassador, you know, that they could use, because she's amazing. I love her.
Exactly.
If there's nothing else that would have gotten me into wrestling aside from you two talking about it, was definitely her. Like, all you had to do was show me her, and I'm like, oh, I'm all in. I don't have to watch all the wrestling, but this is a perfect human. You know what I'm saying? So I would love. I don't care how much I pay for the festival. If she's here, like, I got my money's worth, bro.
Yeah, exactly. So like we said, we got Angelo Dawkins versus Chad Gable, which both these matches were like serviceable, but it was really hard for me to focus on them, because I'm so busy, like, oh god, the crowd, like thinking of like what the crowd is. Because the funny thing is, I kept checking the Rolling Loud tag to see like what everybody was thinking of it. But the funny thing is, it was mostly wrestling fans in there talking about how they hated it, and I'm like, and they're talking about how embarrassed they were, and I can't believe WWE did this, like this is clearly not.
Wait, what were they embarrassed by?
Right? How are you a wrestling fan and you embarrassed? Listen, we have to suspend belief to be fans of this show in general. What are you embarrassed about? We watch. Look, no. Let me go on a rant real quick. We watch Alexa Bliss walk around here with magical powers. We watch Nikki Ash become a superhero randomly. Kane has been dead and came back to life 5, 6, 7, 8 times. Undertaker, same thing for him. Ric Flair will wrestle until he's 400,000 years old. Like all these things happen and nobody has a problem with it. But this is embarrassing to you. How dare you? Like we are forced to believe that Goldberg has a fighting chance against Bobby Lashley, who was half his age. Like that's embarrassing. Embarrassing is that. This is not embarrassing. This is you. Like this is you being closed-minded. Don't be an idiot. Just like stop it.
Exactly. And that was my main point. I'm like looking in the hashtag to see what the actual Rolling Loud people were like, and they were just like
they didn't have a signal.
They're like, where's
There's
Cardi?
no way that
like,
any of them had a signal.
No,
they didn't.
Right?
You know, they weren't about to waste they battery life at a music festival on complaining about wrestling.
And at 9 o'clock, their phone was dead.
You crazy.
Either way, the tag was just full of wrestling fans talking about how they hate it. It just goes to show you nobody can hate yourself more than you do. So
embarrassed.
Oh wow.
So
embarrassed.
You can't love yourself. How the hell are you gonna love anyone else?
Right.
So sad.
So yeah. So and Bianca and Carmella, they're they're good together. Bianca retained, nothing to write home about. The biggest thing is that they did this. They tried to get this exposure out there. That is so many people. You're telling me out of that sea of people, they didn't touch at least one person. I don't believe that. So I don't think it was in vain. I don't think it was a waste. I think they did a good job here. So
I mean, I really like this fight. I liked just Bianca's that long braid, and I love the perfect
picture. Long.
And even I think it was commentary, and they were saying, "Oh yeah, Bianca, don't touch." She was like, "Don't touch my hair. I won't use it, but if you touch it, I'll use it." I just love that whole thing, and just her moves. Like I think I've written down. I was like, Bianca's very tactful or tactical full?
Tactical
full, yeah.
Like what is if someone says like, oh, you're tactful.
Tactful.
You just said it.
She has
but is that a thing?
Sure.
Yeah.
Being tactful?
Listen. Yes.
Go for it.
Okay. She's T. She's to the T. And so I really she was powerful as well. And so I was really liking it. And Carmella, I was surprised. I mean, I really didn't know that much about her, but I feel like she held up her good amount of weight. And even when she pinned down Bianca and she was like shocked that she didn't get that ending, and she was like, oh, this is my only time I could get it. And so I thought this fight was fun. I love the comments. I love Bianca, she did a drop kick or something like that. And I was like, yes, just like, I was just amazed at the braid floating around, at her movements, at the foot. I was just like, I loved every minute of it. So I was like, and I mean, I just love her because I've heard about her before. And I was just like really excited to get to this. And I thought it was super dope to have it at Rolling Loud with the crowd it was so packed. It's a music festival, one of the biggest music festivals. And so I thought it was very fun.
Yeah.
And Jacob, Carmella is the one who used to have Reggie as her sommelier passing out the wine. So yeah, Reggie came.
Really?
Look, Reggie came up. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's what but by the way, I just want to point out, Carmella, it would be like she's definitely wearing her best Coachella kind of.
Oh, very much so. Very much
dressed for
just
Coachella.
Give her a headband, and she'll be a little bit offensive, but also fit in better with the crowd.
Oh yeah, give her some what is it like? Some glitter in her hair.
Yeah,
horrible.
Give her hazy eyes.
Yeah. By the way, I don't know why this is the last picture that they have on WWE.com of Carmella posing in front of the crowd. So maybe
you would think she won, but she won, but she did not. But this is a great picture. Yeah, it's a great picture.
I love that.
I love
it. Rolling Loud.
Shout out to them for definitely making an effort here.
Yeah, definitely.
We like that.
Wait, I have a question. Does Bianca most of the time does she get her hair pulled in the matches? Because I saw Carmella do it, and I was like, "Oh, you only seen."
Yeah,
Okay.
not most of the time, but her opponents do try to do that, and so the moment they do, she normally whips them. She normally does.
Oh, that's hot.
Yeah,
I seen her like choke someone with it one time. They do like a tug of war thing. They do a tug of war thing sometime where somebody grab the braid and she'll pull them back because she's stronger than everyone else. Like she's got it. Yeah, so perfect human.
Wasn't
mama.
She? It was some big news about her not too long ago. Probably a couple months ago, about her and someone else. They're like having like it was the first time two Black women have been. What was that? If you can remind me.
WrestleMania.
Her and Sasha Banks main evented WrestleMania, and Sasha Banks is Black too, so they're first two Black women to headline WrestleMania. And then on top of that, they just won an ESPY for it. They won the ESPY for it for best WWE moment a few weeks ago, and they were on the red carpet. And this is where a lot of people thought Sasha was going to come back. And if they had hit Sasha's music at Rolling Loud and had Snoop Dogg like sing it, because Snoop Dogg is her cousin, and he sings her music, then that would have I believe that would have definitely gotten the crowd.
Snoop Dogg, everybody cousin.
You just never know.
Everybody uncle and cousin.
Yeah. I just want to go on record. You know, when I first came on the Wrestling RHAPup, I was like, hey, this Bianca lady, look, Mari, I know you stand Sasha, but her time is up. Like my baby mama's coming. And I was right. My baby mama has stepped into the spotlight and shit going. They can both have time, but this is hers now. Bianca is here, and I love it.
Exactly. Yeah, and the good thing is the rumor is allegedly Naomi has been traded to SmackDown. So if we have Naomi, Bianca, and Sasha all on SmackDown, I will never watch Raw ever again.
When I saw that, I was like, are there going to be any Black women on Raw anymore?
That's a good point.
It's fine. We're not watching anyway. We'll
oh my gosh.
Bring SmackDown.
The biggest thing is Mia Yim might go back over to Raw because Mia and Keith Lee are engaged. So they don't like the reason why Naomi came to SmackDown is because she's married to Jimmy Uso. So they don't like to separate couples.
And they're just starting to travel again.
And they're starting to travel.
So that makes sense. Yeah.
Gotcha. Cool.
So that I mean, and then down the line, Naomi and Bianca with the tag titles.
Mari, no, just let's not get our hopes up.
We deserve nice things, man.
Man.
Look, let these baddies shine, bro. I love it.
So excited. Yeah. Okay, so and then all right, so we get Edge and Seth Rollins. So why didn't you show Edge at Rolling Loud? Like Edge comes out.
He's right there.
He should have. He just needed to give the promo. Like Edge, all you need to do, have him walk out at Rolling Loud saying all that he was saying. They'll think this man's crazy. They'll start calling the cops on him. He is intense. I don't see how anyone could not be like, what is this crazy? Everyone's gonna pull out their phones, like just recording him just to see what he's gonna do. Edge is amazing. I say it every week, but this was another example of that. And I've never been the biggest fan of him, but wow, he's believable, if anything, right?
Yeah.
A little erratic.
A little.
I like Edge.
See? Look at that.
Edge also 50, 60 years old. But yes, I love him. He's awesome.
Yeah. He's pretty old.
Him and Jeff Hardy are peers.
Yes, they are. They are definitely peers. Famously so. And so we get Seth Rollins comes out to confront Edge. This was just, I mean, this is good. Like pivoting to a Seth Rollins versus Edge feud after Edge versus Roman. This is just gonna be great. And I hope, I don't know, they the two of them are like really up in the ante here. So maybe by the time they actually fight, if it's at a SummerSlam, we get like a stipulation to it or something like that. Because Edge seems very pissed off that Seth cost him the title there. Yeah,
I like Seth's suit. I liked his energy when he came out, especially like the issue was talking. I thought like he was ready. I feel like he did. I mean, Edge did get the first hit. He kind of got the last one as well. But I feel like for for what Seth was doing, for being caught off guard like that, I feel like he did kind of good. And so I was definitely impressed, especially a man coming out in a baby blue suit.
Yeah,
You know?
takes a lot. Takes a lot to do that. But
Yeah.
I'm a team Edge here. I've said this from day one. I remember when he showed up at the Royal Rumble, I was like, "Y'all, Edge is back!" You know, like I was just like, "You guys, Edge!" And so no, for me, like Seth, you can say whatever you want. I'm hoping Edge destroys you whenever y'all get that big match. I'm ready for it. If it's at SummerSlam, then so be it. But you got to go, Seth Rollins, because Edge is back, and I love it.
Yeah,
I didn't.
Seth's persona now is like the drip
What was
god.
that?
That's his.
Yeah,
That's why he has the bright suits and stuff.
But Mari, what does that have to do with his whole? He made a lot of references to guns in this. Like, I didn't realize it was Seth
weird,
NRA Rollins or whatever.
Oh
But
my
there was
gosh.
a lot of like bang bang coming on. And
Yeah.
look, I know he's in real life married to Becky Lynch, who's everyone's favorite. But I'm just saying,
The one that's
if
on
he needs to be
breastfeeding?
canceled,
Yeah,
let me know.
the one
Yes.
told-
Oh,
That's exactly
congratulations,
what
Seth
she's doing
Rollins.
right now. Yeah, just got
Yeah.
a text update from exactly. That's yeah. Good for
Got a text
him.
Oh,
from
she's
April.
beautiful. Okay.
Yeah.
Charlotte Flair. She sent you a text and said, "Hey, Becky's at home breastfeeding."
Becky's at
Yeah,
home.
that was Charlotte. Actually, Charlotte texted me.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Mhm.
no,
Yeah.
Charlotte
Well,
probably
but
has access
texted
to
Mari.
the baby monitor. Oh, texted
Yeah.
Mari. Let
She
her
texted
know.
Mari, her fave, her number one stand.
Okay.
Jealous.
Well,
What Becky doing?
well. So this was just all this was just a great promo setup to their feud. Any last words on Seth Rollins or Edge? No.
I liked it. I liked the fight.
Just
So
hope it-
Yeah.
that wraps up our highlights of the week. Any overall just let's go to Jacob first. How did you feel? Like, what did you like from the highlights? What was your favorite one? How did this reignite your love for wrestling?
Yeah, I definitely liked it. I would have to say my favorite match was probably what was the two genres of music?
Hit Row.
Hit Row.
Hip-hop.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
Legado del Fantasma.
I love that one. That was so fun. But I feel like I have a new appreciation, and a new love for Roman Reigns. I just thought his whole energy I thought was so swag. It was so dope, like stunning all these people. And so I would have to say that, like, the Hit Row one was my favorite. And this was like overall stuff a fun week of matches. And I really enjoy it. And I saw the use of the match Bianca and Carmella being at Rolling Loud, and I liked it. And so I definitely, if it piqued my interest, I'm sure like it definitely got somebody interested in it. And so it was fun.
Yeah. Chappelle?
Oh yeah, this was
Back,
you know, I love
again.
Yeah, you know, I love talking to y'all about wrestling. Whenever y'all call me, I'm like, yes, because no, this was y'all always have the best stuff on here, and so I loved every second of it. I definitely, I guess the highlight for me is, of course, Roman and just disrespecting John Cena, because although like I was a John Cena fan, he just wasn't giving what y'all said he was supposed to have gave, you know.
Right.
And so when I watched this Roman was the star here, you know. So I got a couple other like good clips that I loved, you know, of course Bianca, but you know, we saw my guy Reggie come up, Bobby Lashley's in the mix. But yeah, so this was good. We're graduating from Black Henchman up to like the big league championships. So thank you guys for inviting me, and I thank you for giving me my tag team partner. It's about time I got one. Jacob, what's up?
Yeah,
you know,
so I'm ready for it. I'm ready for it.
Slapping meats.
Slapping meats to meats.
Oh my gosh. Stop that.
Wow. Matt, any last
That's
words?
the highlight. The big meaty men slapping meats. You know, the Roman stuff, that was amazing. That was a great promo by Roman, and as always, he's delivering. But I have to just say, Mandy Rose, don't sit on the announce table with shoes looking janky like that. Like, get it together. And no one asked you to do that. Just be ready.
Nobody. Yeah.
Be ready. Be ready.
Maybe we should buy her. Maybe we should buy her some more.
No, I'm painting. I'm painting the bottom of the. I will paint the bottom. If you're listening to this, I will paint the bottom of your red bottoms or your other bottoms and make them red bottoms red for you for a nominal fee. I will paint them for you.
Fee.
When you said other bottoms, I
does
wasn't
it
thinking
mean?
shoes.
I'm just gonna be painting people's asses.
That's what you were saying. Because you said I would paint those bottoms and other bottoms, and I just went
No,
to,
if you
red?
have a shoe and you would like for it to be a red bottom, please call me. I will make that happen. Don't worry. It is it's reasonable. The fee is reasonable.
I'm pretty sure it's more reasonable than buying the actual shoes.
Yeah,
That
you don't have
also
to
might
walk
be a
the paint
scam.
off of them. Yeah,
Yeah, I thought we were like, start a GoFundMe for, you know what I mean?
No,
Just
absolutely
like us
not.
pitch in, just some money to
No.
get her some new shoes. I think she'll
Absolutely
appreciate it.
good.
She
No,
can pay more than all of us. So.
right. She not gonna take care of them shoes. Look at what she did to the last rip. She ran them bad boys into the ground.
So sad.
Yes,
Ugh.
this was such a fun week in wrestling.
Bless you,
So
Mandy.
glad we can have you guys on there. I think Frankie Monet's whole her whole shtick this week was what really got me, because I love her.
Love
She
her.
is so amazing.
Love her.
And
really
again, just being like very feminine, but also just destroying hoes is what I like.
I like that.
All right, so again, that's all the highlights of the week. We have the highlights can be found in a nice tiny little playlist in our show notes and our show description. So next up, our favorite segment, the Create a RHAPsler segment.
Oh no, I don't like this segment. This is my least favorite segment. I hate it. I don't like it. I'm tired of it. I always lose. Mari dunks
I was just
on
about
me
to say,
all
yeah,
the time.
Say you always lose without saying you always lose.
Yeah, but you know what? Here's what I'll say. That we are ready for this. We are going to give you, Jacob the Jones, a creative RHAPsler, and basically we're going to give you the gimmick. We're going to let you know what your finishing move is. We're just going to let you know all that you can be. Oh my God, are you getting emotional over there?
A little bit, yeah.
He's a sensei. You gotta know about this. You gotta know this about my tag team partner. He's a sensei. He feels.
Actually, really says.
Yeah, this is my guy.
But
I'm on
Chappell,
Enneagram 4 too.
oh my
Yeah,
God,
he
you're
is.
both- look at that.
He's a 4 and I'm a 7, so we are opposites, but we balance each other out. It's all right.
Oh my gosh, this is good.
I would not
Okay,
have
well,
guessed
this will be
that.
an interesting tag team, but we are gonna dive in now. What Mari and I have started to do is set a timer for 3
Yes.
minutes as we
Oh my God.
give our
Thank
creator
God.
RHAPsler. Now, the one other thing though, Chappell, which this is totally putting you on the spot, but we know that
C-Dawg.
you are C-Dawg. You're the dog.
I am.
And we want to invite you to create a RHAPsler for Jacob also.
Man, I don't want to do that. I mean, this is my
That's
tag
fine.
partner. That's my tag
No,
partner. I'm
this is it.
I
This
said
is
maybe
it.
he
If
doesn't
you
want
want
to
to
do
wait,
that.
if you have to wait, we need you to punch up our gimmicks. We need you to
okay.
add to what we're
Well,
adding
that's
for
what we'll
Jacob.
do. We'll let you two do the blueprint, and then if we need to add or subtract something, me and Jacob will jump in at that point.
Okay. Well, Jacob, just sit back, take it in, and then after you hear from us, you could let us know which one that you like. But
So y'all are pitching it to me.
we will pitch it to you.
They're
One
pitching,
at a
and you and I are going to help
One
you
at a
decide
time.
which one you want.
Okay, I like this. I like this. Come on.
So Chappelle, can you do an online? Can you do an online timer? Set it for 3 minutes.
Yeah, Chappelle, get your phone out.
Dead
Actually,
ass.
you know what, Chappelle,
We
you know
need
what?
a
Here it
timer.
is. We need a timer.
Yeah.
Chappelle,
Somebody
you
talks
get.
a lot.
Yeah.
over
Oh
there.
my gosh,
And
you are
she
disrespectful.
keeps talking.
Disrespectful.
So we have the timer. We have the timer pulled up. Chappelle's probably getting the timer pulled up. Mari, who's going? I think you're going first this time.
I think I am going first this time.
Are you? Do you want to go first? I could go
I'm ready
first
whenever
if you
y'all
need me
are.
to.
No, I'm
No,
gonna
Mari,
go
just
first
go.
because I already
go.
have.
I don't even know what I'm saying.
Mari's
but
like,
you
I
know
already
what? It's gonna
won.
be better. Jacob,
Mari,
don't
do
let her
your thing.
disrespect you like
As
this.
always.
Mari,
I
go
know,
ahead
I
and
know,
disrespect
literally.
Jacob. Watch.
All right,
Whenever-
so
ready?
you can
Go.
start my timer now. Okay,
It's been
so
started.
we already have C-Dawg. C-Dawg is a wrestler. He is. He's been on like a little losing streak lately. He needs to change his image. He needs to change his brand. So what he does is he gets a brand consultant. Oh, who's his brand consultant? That guy, Jacob Jones. So you have to start with, you have to get, nice suits, maybe skinny jean suits, nice pocket square, just full on Jacob Jones.
I like it.
But your name is gonna be Triple J. It's gonna be Triple J. Yes, Triple J. And you're gonna just come out and you're gonna advise Chappell. So you're gonna be like, okay, I ran the numbers. The audience will like if you do this, this, and this. And then you have to, of course, Chappell knows he needs to do it, but he's gonna resist it. He's gonna resist the change. So he's gonna resist it. We're gonna get the odd couple type pairing as y'all are a tag team as well. Chappell's gonna come out to the ring with you, and he's gonna be cutting his promos, and he's like, I'm gonna get you, blah blah blah, and then you like stop and like whisper in his ear, and then like I guess I'm going to destroy you. Like it's gonna be very like that.
It's so accurate though.
that odd couple duo. Jacob's trying to slowly mold C-Dawg into his image. Eventually, you're just like, screw it. We're getting an opposites attract type tag team. We're gonna have C-Dawg that just rough, queuing it up with his purple and gold. You couldn't get him into a suit. Forget about it, and you're just like, okay, I'm riding with you, dog. You're always gonna wrestle in your suits. I love when people wrestle in suits. We know this, guys. I'm sorry, this is probably the 5th person I put in a suit, but it just works for Triple J. That's what he's gonna do.
It does.
And I'm trying to think of what your finisher would be, because we love a good tag team finisher. But I mean, you can never go wrong with a super kick, but watching Triple J do a super kick in skinny jeans,
I love like legs.
That could be something. So yeah, let's do it. Let's do a super kick, but maybe we should modify it in some way where like Chappell is like holding the person and maybe a DDT position, and then Jacob super kicks him, and then Chappell DDTs them, and it's just like double head trauma, because
that is
WWE
beautiful.
Loves the
double homicide.
Double homicide.
And that'll be the name of the move.
Yes. Wow.
Okay, I like that. I like that.
I like it. And even if like you can go so far as you're always on your phone, you're checking his social media stats, his interactions. You're trying to like get him up. You're trying to like, we're trying to get your numbers up. We're trying to get your numbers up.
Time. Good job. Good job.
That is your team.
I like that.
There's a lot of good stuff there.
Interesting.
Do I give feedback?
No, not yet. Not yet.
After Matt.
Okay.
Give us both feedback.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Matt, you gotta bring it. You gotta bring it.
Okay. Let me really tap into something here, because I don't have anything. I don't have anything planned here. But what I could see with you, Jacob, is that
I'm going
timer. Thank you. So, Jacob, I could see you. You have the fashion. That's what I already saw. This is you have to show up as a. I don't think this is going to be your gimmick, but just a huge part of who you are as a model, as a man who. Like, this is the man of the year, the sexiest man alive, Jacob Jones, here in the WWE. And I don't picture you in like a suit situation. I picture you kind of like in a silk leisure shirt, kind of like The Rock at the end of the 90s, except like modern day. But you have like, you tuck in your shirt, you have those nice sleek. I just picture you wearing some kind of boots because it's rustling. But what I think about for you, Jacob, number one, let me go. Yes, get that drip on. Get that. Yes, I see that on you. I'm getting the vision. I'm getting a hit. I'm getting a hit. I'm getting a hit. I'm getting a hit. Let me get my hit over the next 30 seconds, Mari. So basically, what I picture for you, Jacob, is it's simple. You're not gonna be Chappell's consultant in any way, but of course, you're tag team partners. That's why I said at the beginning of this. What I picture for you is that you're just gonna show up and. We have C-Dawg over here curb stomping people, and you're going to be there, just as his partner, as his tag team partner. Like, that's what it is. You're together. You're not coming, you're not trying to change him.
Eva Marie.
Yeah, you're a little Eva Marie. Like, this is it. And the thing is, like, you are you, but Chappell is Chappell. Chappell's wearing his camo. Chappell's curb stomping people. That's not your vibe. What your vibe is, though, is once Chappell curb stomps people, you run in and you get the Eva Marie, you get the pin, you lay over the opponent, you're just draping yourself over, And that's how you do it. But basically, there's nothing flashy about this gimmick. I always try to go for something flashy or fancy or wild. I just want you to be your best self. And I don't want you to be an extra gimmick like what Mari was trying to come up with. What's my time? Huh?
You got 40 seconds.
Okay, so let me tell you what else with this 40 seconds here. We're going to have you, Jacob, come out in a car. You're going to have a convertible that you ride down in. The driver, Chappell. Chappell, but Chappell, you're going to also be blasting your theme song. I'm a dog, I'm a dog, I'm a dog.
Hey.
Jacob's going to kind of just go with it. Jacob's going to be in his own world, modeling like Eva Marie, like Mandy Rose on that announce table on the back of the convertible. And
this is like
we're all going to be happy.
Right
we're all going to love it. That's what it's all about. You know what? Like this is, and you know what? With the rest of my time, here we're gonna go with a 10-second pose.
This is America's Next Top Model.
We're done here.
What's that
watch
name?
on YouTube. Get it? Come on, yeah, get that phrase. Oh yeah.
Oh
ooh.
yes.
Yeah. Ooh.
Oh
yeah.
my gosh.
I love when they model stuff in
Yeah.
individual ways.
And that's my gimmick. And you just saw it.
Gosh.
Jacob has that second description and me driving the car. It gives me very much like what is it, Gold Dust and Scott Steiner.
I thought you were gonna say Driving Miss Daisy.
No. Gold Dust is just being Gold Dust and being extra in the background, and I'm just like the muscle.
The muscle.
I mean, that's it. That's it. That's it.
All right, let's get some feedback before you make.
So both of these truly touch home because Triple J. My first name is Jacob. Middle name is Gerard with a J. Last name is Jones. People oftentimes call, how sometimes the people are the third, like my brother, his name is John Paul Jones the third. We call him Trey. People call me sometimes Trey J. To add a little modification to Triple J, Trey J.
That'd be perfect.
Trey
yeah.
J.
Jacob, I'm changing your name in my phone right now to Trey J.
To Trey J, T-R-E,
You could be
J,
Trey
literally.
J. You could be Trey J.
Oh, 1,000%.
Okay, we
in
got a
mine,
name.
because you didn't give him one.
No, in mine.
He
That's
said that was
because
a
he could choose his
modification.
own name.
I'm giving that tomorrow. I'm giving it tomorrow.
Dang, Matt. Oh, no, Matt, no.
Also, for my career, I do brand management.
Oh,
yes, you are the brand.
Brand consult, but in Matt's thing, I was the brand, and I love that Eva Marie kind of like sexy, kind of sultry, kind of just lay me down, darling. I love that, right? And I do some editorial shoots in my off times.
Ooh,
very much. I can see it.
Ooh.
I'm gonna have to do all the rest of
Give it to us.
Yeah.
Ooh.
It's fashion.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, my ass is wrestling to get my ass beat, and he in the background.
I'm sitting there, but I mean,
Jacob, goddamn, get in this ring. You guys, I think y'all pretty much hit the nail on the head with this partnership.
Honestly, y'all really did. But I love being on my phone.
on your phone.
I do in my legs. I'm not wearing pants right now.
Please put your legs down then.
Yeah, I'm not wearing pants either. So a lot's going to show.
Swim trunks even?
No. Underwear. Just strictly underwear.
At least.
Pains.
Oh, we don't want to get taken off of YouTube.
Yeah, let's not get taken off. But I do have long legs where I do like to power kick some holes every now and then.
I'm telling you.
So I think both great pitches.
This cannot. You could kick people, Jacob.
Matt, you see this
both
coming.
Great pitches.
Let it happen.
Come on,
Matt. I am sorry.
Yeah.
Wait, I have an envelope. If your name is on the, if your name is behind here, you are safe.
Jacob, no.
Mari, congratulations.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, man, I'm sorry.
We can tweak the name
even
Trey
deserve
J,
it.
That's all I
Trey
need.
J.
I was gonna give
Trey J.
you a spinning heel kick, and I forgot.
Spinning.
It's too late.
It's too
you
late.
had
It's too late.
You forgot.
No, Mari's a hater, and there's a conspiracy happening right now.
Nah, get it together, Matt.
Here's the thing. Mari is a scammer. I don't know what she's doing.
I've been trying to tell y'all.
But there's something here that doesn't add up, because clearly Mari doesn't know what she's talking about, and I have the best gimmicks, and the world knows it.
Wait,
so.
have you?
I should just walk away now. Bye, everyone.
You haven't won a gimmick.
Oh, come back.
He's won like one or two.
I don't know who it was.
They were a long time ago, and I probably won 3. Look,
did you win Sasha?
No,
I don't remember. No, I didn't win Sasha.
No.
Mari.
Yeah, I did too.
Mari,
Sorry, I'm forgetting my wins. They're just stacking.
Doves on doves. No,
Yeah.
Well, I'm never gonna forget.
Yeah, this was spot on. Jacob already has been my brand consultant for a while now. Me and Jacob, we do talk about like my look. We touch base every now and then.
I literally texted.
He texts me and be like, "Did you go to the gym today?
Did you go work out today?"
Yeah. No, this was right on. It's like y'all. I was like, y'all are reading my life right now because I am stuck with Jacob Jones, but I could not pick a better tag team partner.
He gets pictures of my wisdom teeth. It's like
that is true. He sent me pictures. Cool. It is disgusting. I can definitely send you the pictures. Oh, you do not want the pictures.
Yeah, we're gonna screen. No,
I'm in the
they were whole. They weren't like cracked open either. You know how most
he took the bloody teeth out of his mouth and sent me a cup of his.
It was a whole. It was like the whole tooth without cracking or anything.
Incoming. I'm sending it to you right now.
Send it to her. It was beautiful.
This isn't right.
Disgusting. You didn't know that Jacob and I had this connection, but we definitely been a tag team for a minute.
I knew about this part. I heard about this part. I just don't want to look. Just the teeth. You do have some very nice teeth, Jacob.
I paid for them.
So
yeah.
Well, about that. Oh, we did it. Oh, look at that. Who cares about winning anyway these days?
It's not everything.
It's all about really fun. That's what we're
Let's
here
talk about
for. That's what wrestling's all about. Yeah, get your dental stuff taken care of. And Mari.
Yes, we have Jacob Jones on the podcast. He will be referred to as Trey J.
Trey J. Yes, my guy.
Trey J. Yes. So that wraps up Creator RHAPsler. Guys, this is just fun. Like anytime we're all together, it is amazing. I'm glad we finally got.
Wait, this is the first time I'm on a pod with all of y'all.
All of us. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It is.
Really Jacob, fun. We've never podcasted together. We've a tag team. We've never podcasted together. Literally. I feel like I talk to you all the time now.
I know. We literally have not.
Yeah, this is wild. Also, check y'all's phones. I sent y'all the teeth.
I already saw it.
I'm
thumbs down.
While I look, Jacob,
you have some nice teeth.
Hey, plug yourself.
The dentist did say I have very strong teeth. So my name is plug myself, Jacob. You know, you can find me on Twitter at Trey J. You can find me on Twitter at JacobJ_Jones. Hit me up. Very friendly. Very communatory. Hit me up.
Yes, communitorial.
Chappell, where can people find you?
So coming up, I got a lot of stuff on my plate because I don't know how to say no, but but we got some good stuff coming up. I think I'm going to be on the Duo Sports and Stuff podcast with Deontay and Dane, on a different podcast network. So I will be talking to them about sports and stuff, probably more stuff than sports. Then I think also I am recording the Purple Pants podcast this week with Bryce Isaiah to discuss Space Jam 2 because that's what Bryce and I do. We talk about movies, and so if you want to check that out, that'll probably be later on this week. Also, I'll be talking to Sasha Joseph later on this week as well for Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. Episodes 3 and 4. So that's going to be a blast. Speaking of Sasha, she and I have just recorded our post-show recaps episode for Never Have I Ever, the series on Netflix. I was
wondering if y'all were gonna do that.
We did an overview on post-show recaps, but it looks like Sasha will be covering it episodically on the Silent podcast, and so you can find me there as well in the next coming weeks. And then I will be on Wednesday's Big Brother recap on our RHAP Has a Podcast network, talking about the episode when we see what happens this Wednesday. And I think this week on the Reality TV Rewind, we talked about The Average Joe. Rob and I talked with Jenny Autumn. And so if you want to talk about some old reality TV television shows, then definitely check that out with me and Jenny. And I think that's it for my plugs. It's a lot this week. But if you just want to check in with me or you want to keep up with all of that, those podcasts. Oh shoot, forgot. I'm doing the What You Doing podcast with Navi and Felipe to talk about Phineas and Ferb, the season finale of Phineas and Ferb season 1. And so we'll be talking about that this week coming up too. But if you want to keep up with all of those podcast shenanigans, please follow me on Twitter at Chappelle's_show and follow my tag team partner Jacob Jones as well. So
you're on the day after me on the RHAP on for Big Brother. I'm on Tuesday. You're on Wednesday.
Big Brother comes on Wednesday. What are you
I
doing
know,
on
but
Tuesday?
I do the round table.
Oh yeah,
round table.
You better talk about me on the. Wait, what? We a tag team now.
We really are.
Wow.
Okay,
there you go.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, yeah. But that's everything. That's all the plugs.
Wait, I can't. Mari, we'll work on that.
Yeah.
And lots of plugs. Definitely hit that 15-second rewind button a few times and listen back to those plugs. Put that all on your calendar. Thank you, Chappelle, for the plugs. You can find me at Matt Scott GW on Twitter. Follow me on Stereo too, and all the places if you want. Hit me up. The other thing I'll say is that I'll be on the eviction recap on Thursday night.
Hey, we taking over this week.
The shenanigans. So yeah, we're gonna be just all over the BB streets, and glad that Frenchie's gone. Spoiler alert to do that. But that's all I have to plug this week. Mari, what do you want to plug and shout out?
Hey, well, I also want to shout out. I was on the Bachelorette podcast about 2 weeks ago. I forgot. I'm sorry. Haley and Amy. You can check me out talking about Katie's ongoing season. I will be on the Big Brother recap podcast tomorrow, Sunday. The episode recap, and then I will be on the live feed update on Tuesday. At first I was like, oh, dang, did Jacob take my place?
Yeah.
But I'll be checking.
I was confused too. I was like, what is happening?
Yeah, with Taryn. And then I will also be on the 90 Day Fiance podcast with Puya this week as well. So it seems like we're all very booked and busy. As always, you can always catch me and Matt here on the Wrestling RHAPup podcast. And you can find me on Twitter and Stereo at Mari Talks Too Much. That's 2 like the number 2. Other than that, this has been great. I'm sad ending already, but watch out for any flying elbows, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.